Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another exciting, amazing, wonderfully awesome episode of Hollywood After Dark. It is Monday, the 10th of October, 2022. We're going to be talking about Black Adam marketing, and my God, folks, Dwayne Johnson's turning up the heat in a way that I believe is starting to break through. Color me impressed. All right, let's dive right the fuck into it. Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? Welcome to the party. Welcome to the show. It's another night. It's another Monday. Hollywood After Dark is back with another episode. But not only am I going to be talking about movies, I want to let you guys know that if you happen to be looking for a little bit something more, a little bit extra once this particular stream is over, you guys can check out my first YouTube Twitter space. It's a Twitter space I did last night all about movies you want to experience again. That's right, folks. Do you want to lose your virginity to a movie again? Let me know in that stream, because I talk about movies I really enjoy and why I saw them and everything else. Fun little stream. Had a couple people listening that came on in. Want to do more of these Twitter spaces where you guys can get more of an opportunity to come on in and chit chat and just have a bit of a fun hangout. And of course, those will be re-uploaded here for people to check out the audio format. Additionally, if you're looking for something a little crazier, a little darker, a little more mysterious, a little more weird, a little bit more wild, a little bit more what the fuck, you guys can go check out the newest episode of Deep Lore, which dropped today over there. deeplore.tv is the website. You can find it wherever you get your podcast, or youtube.com/deeplore TV. This is all about a guy who allegedly sold hamburgers of his victims. Crazy stuff. Joining me off the bat, we have RJ. What up, RJ? How you doing, buddy?
Doing good, man. Doing good. It's been an interesting couple of days.
It really has been. But before that,
For both good and bad reasons.
Just saw this, yeah. Definitely. Hold on. I saw Reed here dropped a $10 super chat right off the bat. I just saw this. Thank you, Reed. Says, Veterans Weekend, I'm going to do a father and son road trip. I'm possibly thinking of going to Waverly Hills in Kentucky and going to the Mothman Place in West Virginia. That will be fun. You know, I've never been to Kentucky or West Virginia, but I've done some of those spooky experiences. Like I went to the old Winchester Mansion in San Jose. I did that back in 2009. That was a lot of fun. I've gone to different haunted locations in San Diego and Los Angeles, and I did a paranormal walking tour in Oregon, which was actually quite a bit of fun. And then, now, I mean, there's a lot of crazy stuff out there. So now's the time to go and do it. As much as I enjoy going to haunts, going to this haunted houses and cities and whatever, going to some place that actually feels haunted and it feels like something bad happened there is always a creepier experience. And so if you want to scar your children for life, absolutely take them to someplace like that. 100%, man. 100%. Not at all going to be mocking you. I'm not saying that to be mean. I mean, literally, I was just actually watching Ghostbusters 2 with my kid. So, I mentioned this the other night. I watched Ghostbusters Afterlife finally. Watched it with my daughter. My daughter loves it. First, she's like, "Oh, Daddy, it's scary. It's scary. It's scary. Yeah, I don't like it. It's too scary." I'm like, it's okay. You're fine. And then she's like, okay, yeah, no, I want to watch it again. Typical 4-year-old. So then tonight, my girlfriend showed them Ghostbusters 1 and then Ghostbusters 2 because that was on Hulu. And, I'm sitting there with her watching Ghostbusters 2 and she's getting pretty freaked out at some of the stuff. But at the same time, she's just cuddled up on me, and just chill. It's so as a parent, that's always a lot of fun. When your kids are just cuddled up on you and they just want to hang out and everything, and enjoy a movie. It's great stuff. I really, really, really enjoy all that. So it is that definitely. We got Command Unit here for $2. Thanks, buddy. He says a bunch of great 40K trailers dropped. And then also for $5, he dropped down this trailer for, what is this, Dark Tide Subclass Spotlight Veteran Sharpshooter, which we'll be taking a look at the end. Also, Lord Slug here is saying, RJ, aren't you retired?
I don't know anymore.
You don't know anymore. Is it just been one of those? Is it just been one of those days?
It's one of those days. I'll be honest. So I took a break for a few weeks. I've been getting repeatedly sick, which confounded things too.
This is what happens when you're around children.
Which it, yeah, I'm learning that now. Uh,
Believe
then,
me,
then this
RJ.
then this Twitter Space thing happened, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, I don't know. Like, there's a bit of that fire still left a little bit.
Well,
I
I
don't
think
know what to do with it.
so the thing is, you gotta use it sparingly. To be honest with you, right? Like, you gotta use it sparingly, because if you don't, you're gonna potentially find yourself back in the same kind of situation you were at before, where you might get a little bit burnt out. It's very easy to dive back into these sort of things when you feel like you're energized and you're excited and you want to do it. You're definitely going to want to like dive back on in and feel all that adrenaline, the endorphins kick off. That's a big part of it, right? So it's kind of like I talked about that that one, the Mean One movie the other night, right? Where I put out a little 4-minute video just about this parody horror movie, and the goddamn thing's got like 30,000 views. And I'm looking at that like, should I cover more horror movies? Like, is that the niche everyone likes? Because normally we pretty much talk about superhero stuff because that's what dominates the news cycles, right? All of that stuff just dominates the news cycles. So it's like, but again, if the only video I've got that does well is something that, like, not the only video, but like, one that's done well recently, and it's horror movie related.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. Maybe that's up on something. I don't quite know yet.
Yeah.
But Garrick here makes a point, says the movie drought is almost over.
It is, which that helps too. And we've been in a drought ever since August.
Well, yeah, really, since Bullet Train came out, it's been a pretty decent drought. And
I mean, 10 days away,
Yeah, we are. Yeah. Are we 10 days away?
It's 10 days away. Yeah. 10 days.
Oh yeah. Well, technically, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4,
count
5,
the Thursday
6,
showings.
7, 8,
Yeah, it's 10
9,
days.
10. Yeah, it's 10 days. Yeah, it's true. That's going to be something we're checking out. I mean, I still need to watch like this week. I still need to watch Werewolf by Night. I haven't watched it yet.
I know, you got to watch that.
I haven't watched. Tonight's not going to be a long episode. We're not going to go like 3 hours or nothing. So I'll probably be able to sit down and watch it.
It's just, it's just kind of just been interesting because, again, it's just kind of like, I don't know. It's just like the drama shit's fun sometimes, but you have to be very careful how you deal with it, because I can easily get out. I will say some of the shit's been entertaining though.
Well, like, so last night,
a little bit,
So last night there was another Twitter space that I was only in for like a couple seconds. Really, I wasn't in there very long. It was pretty entertaining. I will say it was entertaining at points. We won't go into the full detail because we don't want to like divulge way too much information that was there. I guess it's one of those like, if you were there, what was said.
It's one of the spaces where if you were there,
yeah. So it's gone now. I mean, I downloaded a copy of it. I have a copy of it. Because I found it.
Let me ask you, because you uploaded that Twitter space on your YouTube.
Yeah.
How did you download it and upload it?
So I did. Well, what I did is I there's a web. You can just, I think it's like Audiolabs or whatever .io or something. Audio. Yeah, it's Audiolabs.io, and you can you just when you go into a Twitter space, you just click on the 3 little dots and it says copy link, or you share it and you copy the link and you put that in that website, and it will download the space, the audio from that, and then sends you an email to let you know when it's available to download. So I had the space last night within about 30-40 minutes of you guys being done with it. I had the full 4-hour copy of it.
Well, and shit, I might have to upload the one that I did that's like 4 hours long.
If you want, I linked it to you guys in the DM group, but I'll upload it to Google Drive or something, so you guys can have access to it then. And then after you guys were done last night, I was working on the Deep Lore episode, right? I was absolutely, I was working on the one about this guy here, Joe Matheny. And I wrote the script while I was listening to you guys last night. I don't know, maybe I was just in a bad mood. I could not connect with that recording. I spent like 25-30 minutes on it, could not connect to it. And I was like, fuck this, like whatever. And then I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? Like, I didn't want to stream on YouTube because that will go on forever. But I'm like,
Right.
let me see if I can hook in my microphone to my phone and you know, I've got a splitter so it allows me to plug in my microphone as well as a headset to listen. And then I'm like, let me see if I can do a space and, you know, we'll just do something. I'm like, movies you want to see again. And I thought it was a fun conversation. So I was like, all right, cool. Like, that's good. You can do more things like that. And so that kind of got me energized. And then today I was able to sit down and record everything and get it all done. So that was good. Cause sometimes I think part of it too is like, we kind of like brute force this shit sometimes.
Mm.
And it's like, cause like this whole situation with this drama, which by the way, has, I don't know if I want to say it's escalated, but like it's getting it's gotten ridiculous. I think we can agree it's gotten ridiculous.
Well, in what way? I guess.
Well, okay.
No,
Yeah. So, okay. The long and short of it is this, right? So there was RJ's 5-hour space where,
saggy space that she wanted me to host, but yes.
Sure. Okay. Whatever. Take the credit. All right. It was on your thing.
It was mine. Yes.
It was on your channel. Okay. She's not here to defend herself. Take credit. You know, and anyway, so it was whatever. It was a joint operation. It was a saggy RJ operation. And so like 5 hours long. I think over 7,200 people have listened to it on the
pretty
replay.
much. I mean, Daniel RPK was there. My Time to Shine, Sky, like literally everybody you could. It was like the Super Smash Bros of Twitter Spaces.
It was a big scooper event. Yeah, it was a big scooper event. A lot of people were there, and a lot of people definitely have, you know, like chimed in their particular perspective on all of this stuff. So I always find that I found the whole thing to be funny. Never mind, my display was pretty. Like, I don't know. It wasn't, I shouldn't have gotten it as hot as I did, but whatever. And, but I stand by what I said to all in front of all of those scoopers at the beginning of that thing. I stand by what I said. However, there was a response to it yesterday. There was what you might want to call a bunch of damage control.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. There was a lot of damage control and a lot of defense and whatever. And so last night, Skywalker and a couple of those guys, they got together, had a little henhouse powwow and started talking about it for a while. And then RJ, Saggy, and Caden were like, haha, let's be funny and stream snipe them, but through a Twitter space, which makes sense because of how popular the other one was. It might have just been a little bit too late on a Sunday night. That's my thing on it.
Probably, but I mean, you know, just one of those.
But yeah, and through there came some very interesting revelations.
That's one thing to say. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And I'm not going to go into like the full bit of it, but the thing that caught my attention and I did show this couple key people today who were laughing at it pretty heavily. In order to cope with the fact that Syl had his ass handed to him for 4 hours, like he sat there and took a beating for 4 hours straight. He tried to like,
listen, I commend it for staying for that long.
We commended it for staying that long, but at the same time, he was just getting cock slapped constantly. There's no way to look at anything he did there as a win. Like, no way, because like you don't sit there for 4 hours and take that level of abuse from a lot of people, myself included, and then still not ultimately answer anything. Like, it's a win to his audience because they think that because he didn't actually answer anything, that just means that like he wins. But it was just that like people wanted to air their grievances directly to his face. And I think that's the win on them. I think that's the win on them. It's like, you know, he had to sit there and take it. He just sat there and took it for 4 hours. It's like, no, dude, if you have dignity, you go, all right, this is bullshit. I'm bailing. You know what I mean? Like, it's just pretty funny. Anyway, but one of the guys, was it the Lord of the New Geeks? Was that his name?
Leon of the New Geeks.
Leon of the New Geeks. I think I've talked with him before.
You have, yeah. He's not a very bright person.
He's really not. No. But he came out and he made a comment that the only reason why they were going after Syl, everyone goes after Syl, is because he's black. They played he played the race card.
They said that we're not only are we all white, but he said the scooper community as a whole was only white. Apparently, it's just a bunch of white guys. You don't like that a black guy got popular.
Yeah, that's so then you have Mikey Sutton, and it is Mikey Sutton in the chat because he's a wrench.
Yeah, but it's him.
It's absolutely him, and he's just like, yeah, they're just trying to take a black man down, you know, and he's all like,
he also said they're trying to take me down because I'm half Filipino.
Yeah. I saw him say brown and proud. I thought was pretty funny. It's like, what are you doing? Like, no one is criticizing you because of your race. Like, that is, That is, no one is criticizing them because of their race or their ethnicity or their background. Like, not at all. There's been no, but that tells you everything you need to know about the bullshit, is that they are so afraid of what happened and they're trying to run as much damage control as humanly possible, that they have to play that card, because there's not a lot of defense, like, there's, who's going to argue that? Like, there's really no argument that can come back at that. I think anyone who hears it's going to know how stupid it was, because that's clearly not the case.
Well, it's just so pathetic because, like, it not that it matters, but like the people that they think are white, none of us are white. Caden's not white. I'm not white, despite how I may look. Saggy's not white. Like to pull the race card is like your gotcha, being like, oh, these guys are racist. That must be why they don't like us.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
so pathetic. Like, it's just the worst kind of comeback defense that you could have made. And ultimately, they were trying to make themselves look good, but they ended up making themselves look even worse, and they made Sil look bad by association.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It would have been funnier if he was there. But
well, I think Sil was smart enough to know not to go on, to be honest.
Maybe, yeah. He'll let them run defense and just, I mean, but the shit that they were saying, guys, outside of that, right? That was like bad. The worst. Bad. That was like the worst thing, because they were legitimately trying.
It was so obviously terrible. Like, that was their main defense.
Yeah. Well, the whole point though is that you can tell they're trying to gaslight themselves into believing that nonsense. But the things they were trying to claim that it was a coordinated effort by the scoopers to all come together.
They said that I infiltrated So Nation to coordinate an attack alongside the scooper community, and that Saggy was there to deflect any criticism because she's a woman, so they can claim misogyny. So apparently they think this was a giant operation conducted by the scooper community and myself to bring down and end the career of Sil Abdul. That's what they think happened.
And that's their takeaway from it. And anyone with half a brain can see people are just like, hey, stop bullshitting others. That's all anybody wants. Or maybe like call out.
They clearly don't know how Twitter Spaces work either. Like, it's not like I coordinated this plan stuff for months. Like, it was just a random thing that we just booed up on a Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, again, but there was elements of it though, where I guess when Saggy became co-host, people she had blocked were not allowed to come on in. We didn't know that, so there were elements of it that they.
If I had known that, she wouldn't have made a co-host. She was made a co-host to help moderate, because there's a lot of people coming in, and so came in and wanted to make sure that everyone had a fair chance to talk, which is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
I would have gladly had them come on if they were actually listening, and I would have seen that.
Yeah.
I have no. But then I made that tweet about Skywalker. Did you see his video from today?
I did. Yeah.
You're free to play it if you want to, because it's really funny.
Yeah, let me find it and I'll play it real quick. This is
bad.
Like
it's bad.
This particular drama only really applies to, like, let's say, what is it? Like this particular drama really only applies to like this side of the fandom. And after tonight, I don't really want to bring it up again. Just like, because of how weird last night was, and just this weekend as a result of that is just.
Well, it's been like the biggest. Like, I think even Film Junkie talked about it a little bit.
That wouldn't. Well, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me considering the things that they're saying about him.
No, I did not start Gamergate 2, Momoon. No, it's not.
No, this did not start Gamergate 2. No. Although today I was talking to somebody and they're like, oh, this is just bullshit, like Comicsgate and Gamergate all over again. And I just like, I was like in the middle of the Gamergate, right? And then like silence, like not even a response to that comment. I was laughing my ass off. I'm like, it's nothing like that, dude. If it was like that, I would tell you, like, flat out. I'm very open on that shit, because I don't feel the need to ever really kind of hide from it. It happened.
I mean, maybe you could call it Scoopergate, maybe? Is that what you call it? Okay, so
context. I did. Yeah, hold on, right? I'm Anthony. I got the super chats logged. We're going to get to them here in a minute. We're just kind of on a roll, and I just want to keep. But yes, I've seen them. I'm logging them as we come through. Thank you, guys. It's just once we're going, I don't want to stop and break the flow. That's kind of like, it throws me off balance a little bit. But yeah, it's all good. So this is Skywalker calling out RJ.
Right, because what happened was that after the Twitter space, I made a tweet. I'll pull it up real quick because I just that for context. I want to be fair and show the whole thing.
Sure.
I took a screen grab from it of a stupid face he made. It's on my screen.
All right.
So this is what I posted. I said, so this at Skywalker tweet to you continues to be a bully and the absolute worst kind of trash talker. The man always has to resort to attacking physical appearances or making some misogynistic comments on women. I never fucked with you and I never will. You are straight garbage. Good job with your dumbass stream. This made y'all look even worse. Pulling the race card was the worst mistake all y'all could have ever made. That's all I said. And then he responded this morning. So,
yeah, I mean, again, the race card thing was talked about, but for some reason, you really get under his skin.
I don't know why.
And it's like,
but you know what's funnier? He tagged Max. I found out about this because I have my notifications turned off for people who don't follow me and I don't follow them, or whatever it is. So I didn't know about this till Max made a video because he got tagged in it.
I didn't know about it until I saw Max posted a video, and then I watched Max's video because I was like, what the fuck is this? But this cracked me the hell up. Just everything else. Hey, we got Jimbo joining the stream. What's up, Jimbo? So, all right, let's listen to this again. This is a grown ass man, who apparently has his whole life together.
Apparently, I really triggered him.
Yeah, you did, because he's like, he's coming for you, RJ. Like, he's coming for you. It's funny. Here we go.
Good morning, RJ. It's always a wonderful day when I wake up, and see that somebody like you has just got me on the brain. You know what I'm saying? Like, it kind of warms my heart. Right? You want to, look, I knew that you were going to do what you do best, though, which is come to the internet and virtue signal. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to sit there and say that all I've been doing is attacking your physical appearance, or I attack everyone's physical appearance when I don't even know what the hell you look like, never seen your face, or that I'm misogynistic because I don't like one woman on planet Earth, you know what I'm saying? Then cool, right? Like, by all means, continue to do so, right? You want to screenshot my handsome face and put it all over the internet? It's cool, right? All of that is cool, RJ, I promise. But from here on out, we have two choices, right? And it's the same two choices you've always had, right? I've been very clear about this, right, from the jump. We can have a civil discussion if you get on camera and talk to me. We can just hash this all out, RJ, I promise. Right? I mean, I've never seen an interviewer or like a debate be taken seriously when one person can't see the other person's face, right? I mean, I think that we should be on equal playing field, right? Right? We can do it on my channel, or I would say do it on your channel, but I'll come over to Max's channel if that's the case, right? Because this is all about content, right? Right? So let's make some content, RJ. Right? Or you could take the second option. And word to my dude, Dave Chappelle.
Kinda cool guy.
The second option is you could shut the fuck up. I'm gonna tag Max in this, you know what I'm saying? Real talk. This is, hey, you want attention, RJ. If you want to talk to me, I'll talk. Rules are clear.
Man, you could tell at the end there, he was like, he felt so satisfied. Like that,
Okay. So here's the thing, though. He acts like we've never debated. Okay, so on that Zod Rider stream, you guys can go back and watch. He got, like, angry, visibly angry, and just wouldn't stop ranting. He said, fat boy, cam up, fat boy, cam up, fat boy, cam up. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to. Fat boy, like, you go back and watch it. That's all he said. He always says, fat boy, cam up, cam up. Then I said I got no issue with it. Like, his big talking point was that he knows my brother better than me because he was in the military. So therefore, he's a better person than me. That's his argument, apparently.
Yeah.
So it's just like, this guy's like such a fake internet tough guy. It's like, why am I going to give in to your demands for a debate? I debate people, like, I don't need to show my face to have a conversation with you.
The thing is, you can't even have a debate, or like last night's stream, he couldn't even bring a logical point or sound argument. All it was just insulting and deflecting to the max. Like, it's like, dude, why would anyone debate you when all you can do is insult and deflect so goddamn hard? Like, it's not even funny, dude.
I think it's pretty funny.
Oh
I
no,
think
it's funny.
I think
It's
it's
funny.
like
because of how
It's funny.
dumb it is.
But the guy is like such a fake internet tough guy. Like I feel almost sad for him in a way. This part of me actually feels like sad for the guy, because like
well, I mean,
I
but
don't know.
just take it. Okay, like look, I'm not a psychiatrist, so I can't appropriately
I said last
psychoanalyze
night,
him.
but I think he needs to get checked for CTEs.
Well, I think in this particular case, it's probably more than that. Look, he's got a lot of issues. Clearly, when it comes to Sill Nation, he's like, he tags that shit constantly. That's his community. That's his tribe. Those are his people.
No, well, dude, you should see the start of his stream. Like he's like, he's like ride or die with Sill to the point of like if someone even like looked at him the wrong way, he'd probably knock him in the face. Like he is like such a dick rider, a ball gargler. That's what I call.
Oh yeah,
him. He's a ball gargler.
no, he's a ball washer. Yeah,
he's upset.
he's
like,
but again, RJ, you have to understand.
It's a tribe.
It is a tribe. It's an ideology
As
that
with the Scooby Gang.
Yeah, like it, but that's the whole point with these guys. It's a tribal mentality. They can't think outside of where they're at because everything is seen as a challenge, right? And as time continues to go on, and as they keep getting challenged, it starts to break their worldview. And the problem is, I would argue, in many instances, because like look at what they want. Look at it from a gambling addict's perspective. Okay, what they want is Zack Snyder back, Man of Steel 2, Ben Affleck's Batfleck movie, Justice League 2 and 3, right? And and like let's just say charitably, that's what they want, and they would be happy and content after that. But the reality is they wouldn't, because they're addicted to this. What's the worst thing that can happen to a gambling addict? They win. That's the worst thing that can happen to a gambling addict.
If he's their addiction, because they think they're going to keep winning.
Exactly. So every time something happens, because of the corporate restructuring and them trying to save as much money as they possibly can.
Imagine how next weekend's going to be.
What's happening next weekend?
Black Adam releases.
Oh well, yeah, okay, yeah. Sorry,
that's what I'm saying. Like
not this weekend, but
yeah.
next weekend, yeah, right. But the reason why I bring that up a little bit is because there's an article that even popped up today. Deadline is reporting that that Warner Brothers Discovery is going to have another wave of layoffs. Now, this is obviously in regards to the redundancy of having multiple people.
Right, but they did say animation's going to get a lot of cuts too.
Well, Warner Brothers Television Group is going to be a main target, and that's a big part of that. This is what we've talked about multiple times. You've heard this multiple times. Warner Brothers Discovery does not have a lot of money. So as a result of not having a lot of money, this is where they find themselves. They'll be laying off, and then they'll try to pull in the contracts that they already have. If they've been able to find a way to make it work, where Cavill is back in the fold because of Dwayne, because The Rock was able to make this work, because this was actually a very prophetic image, which would be great if it was. We could be happy about that, but they're going to look at that as a gambler's win, because they think that's going to be a way back. They think that's going to be the turkey, like that. You know what I mean? Like the whole Zack Snyder, because Zack Snyder trolls them, but they all think that it's like legitimate. Like if you've ever gone and looked at Zack Snyder's Vero, he'll post something and people try to overanalyze it to the point of just like, oh my God. Like, and Sill has done that too. Sill is absolutely, remember when he's all like, oh, May 18th. And then it's, it was the upfront. And then it was, what was it? What happened in like June or some shit, right? Or
it was the upfront, then it was Comic-Con, then it was DC Fandom. Yeah, all that.
Yeah, all of these things they kept moving the goalposts. And so every time that would happen, these guys would get their hopes up. They would gamble on it. They would get hurt, but their resolve stays strong because they're addicted. Then you hear things like, oh, little things are happening here and there, or especially if they watch Sill. And Mikey always comes out and says this, oh, the new regime, they've met with Zach. They love Zach. They want Zach. They're talking, they're thinking about Deborah Snyder to take over DC Films. Like, the fuck, you know what I mean? Like they get all hyped up. They get full of adrenaline. They get full of endorphins because they're being told they're confirmation bias. And then, things happen. Like Jim Lee comes out and says, we are not currently working with Zack Snyder. We're not developing anything in that world. And what does he know? What does Jim Lee know about any of that stuff? Never mind, he's heavily involved in all of it. And then
Well,
Jay Oliva,
with the Jay Oliva,
Jay Oliva, yeah, right. And then even on that stream, Sil was trying to twist, trying to argue it, right?
Well, Mikey was the one that screwed up. Mikey was the one that screwed up and had to be corrected by Sil. Because I remember Mikey got a lot of shit for saying, "Oh, Jay Oliva doesn't know shit." Basically, is what he said. And so
yeah, but then of course, Sil's not going to really like he might correct them, but he's not going to sit there and bash him over that shit. However, recently though, we have seen Sil start to throw Mikey under the bus on Twitter,
which is weird. It's just so weird. Like listen, and like I'm not like I don't hate Sil anymore. I think that he's just a businessman trying to do what he's trying to do. I have no ill will towards the guy personally.
He's a hype man. He's a hype man.
But it is weird all of a sudden, like now that he's become the scooper, like Mikey's getting thrown under the bus more and more, it feels like. It is weird.
I think a lot of it has
there's like a divide now between, well, Mikey said that, not me. Like, listen to what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, and again, that's going to end up being, that's going to be the divide, right? That's going to be the divide. So if there's ever enough, like a lot hinges on the future of DC. And today kind of tossed a little bit out, not their way, especially in regards to, Mikey, because the things that Mikey said, recently, they want to work on another Suicide Squad movie, but they don't want to do it with James Gunn. They want to focus on having it be, with David Ayer, and they want Will Smith.
They don't want to continue with any of James Gunn stuff except for TV. They only want to keep James Gunn stuff on TV.
Yeah, which is like okay, but then we get this today, where we get the first look of Jennifer Holland's Amelia Harcourt in Black Adam. Sure, you can argue Peacemaker's on television, but
that's a character jumping from a TV show to a movie.
Well, that's a character jumping from a movie to a TV show to a movie.
Oh, that's right. She was in the Suicide
Squad. Yeah, because they were all in Suicide Squad as well before going over to Peacemaker. Well, not all, but a fair amount of them. And so that's a big factor, right? Where this is James Gunn's character. Now, not only that, but this is James Gunn's wife, because they just got married the other day in Colorado.
Yeah, they've been dating and were fiancés for a while, yeah.
Yeah, and they just tied the knot right before this thing's coming out. So, by the way, congratulations to them and good for them, I saw pictures of the wedding. It looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah, people are pissed about this, by the way. People are saying, I'm boycotting Black Adam because it connected to James Gunn shit.
But that's the whole point, is we knew that they were going to do that.
Which makes sense. Like, why would you not connect everything?
Yeah, like Viola Davis coming back in.
That's what you should be doing.
Exactly. Somebody said today that I can't find the tweet, but they basically had said that Black Adam at this point is more of a DCEU connected film than even Justice League.
But it is, but that's what makes it great, because it's connecting everything that's been going on the last couple of years, which is a good thing. It should be. Like when The Rock is talking about, like, this movie is meant to establish the future of DC, when you see stuff like this, it's like, okay, I feel it now. I feel like it's actually connecting everything that we've been watching, which is a good thing. It's the kind of feeling you want to have.
Yeah. Well, no, you're right. And I agree with that. Like I said, the title of the stream is like, Black Adam is bringing the heat. And I've been critical about marketing, but now the marketing is ramping up with the final week and a half to go, 10 days before the release.
They're doing so many talk shows too. So many. Tomorrow it's the Today Show, the Kelly Clarkson Show, Good Morning America.
Yeah, they're
Jimmy
making the
Fallon
rounds.
Tonight. They're doing everything.
They are. I mean, I don't watch any of that shit because I find it to be relatively redundant in general.
But like the casual America does. Though.
Yeah, the casual America does, and a lot of people out there, I think, are going to see this, and that's good. It is the next big movie. It is something that theaters are very much embracing for.
Movie to be a hit too. Like you read the trades, they're saying, "Good God, we need Black Adam to come out already because it's been dead since August." They're like, people are desperate for another big movie. So
I think. I haven't. To be fair, I have not heard that specific.
Well, I was reading that, and I think Deadline mentioned like it's been like a drought ever since Bullet Train.
Oh, so it's very much been a drought.
Viewers especially are looking forward to this movie.
Yeah, it's very much a drought on that, and the theaters. Oh yeah, I completely.
Well, Garrett, the issue with Halloween Ends that will bring some revenue, but the industry's not looking at that as much because it's going to be a day and day on streaming, so it's going to take some away the theater seats.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they start to fill up. I'm checking my local theater, And I checked it last week, right, with the first showing, and it has not sold an extra ticket in the last week. It's still me and 2 other people. That's it.
I don't know, Spherical Man. I think he's finally admitting that I was right, because I'm here to rub it in just a little bit tonight.
Am I buying the hype? No, but I'm commending the hype. Right?
He did it. He's doing it. He's doing
we are still, there's a lot of teasing yet, but there hasn't been a fucking orgasm. You know what I'm saying? So again,
it's a lot of edging. I know
it's a lot of edging,
like
and I'm not a big fan. And I'm not a big fan of edging. However, I do feel that some of this new stuff has been better, especially that little teaser, because they put out 4 different clips today.
They put out 4 clips, then they did some TikTok ads, and they dropped a big interview with that Jake guy on YouTube.
I saw that. I saw that last night, but yeah, I saw that. I watched the whole thing last night. I think Caden had linked it in the DM group.
Oh, and that interview's great. It's a great.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think I like the 2 are friends, so I kind of get that are very friendly. So I was like, all right, it's a little bit.
The way he answered the question, like the way he built up that I don't know if you played it on stream, but that interview's so good with the answer he gave about the future. I'm like,
well, no, I said this to you. I didn't stream last night, but I said this privately last night. I'm like, that was a rehearsed answer. It was a good answer, but it was a very rehearsed answer. I don't know if Jake knew about that. I don't know if this might be the clip right here. I don't have the full 2.5 minutes, or 4 or 5 minutes, but I have this little clip right here. So this is part of the interview that came out yesterday.
Well, I mean, by design, we created that moment at the end of the movie where it's just going to spark conversation and
it'll answer the question
and dialogue.
Yeah.
And
wrong interview. My bad.
At the end, we deliver something that they don't expect that blows their mind.
Yep.
And so there's a lot happening. When they're walking out of the theater, they're like, "Oh my god, what an experience!"
I mean, come on, man. What else could we be talking about? I mean, come on.
Actually, there's one alternative that we haven't talked about.
What the hell else could it be? He keeps talking about the ending. I mean, come on.
Yeah, he does keep talking about the ending. He says that no other person on this planet could stop me. Right?
Uh-huh.
That doesn't mean Superman.
Who else could it mean?
My profile picture, potentially?
Where's Hal Jordan these days?
Come
now,
on.
Hold on. Hear me out. Has The Rock and Ryan Reynolds not developed a very close buddy friendship, very similar to Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman?
Okay.
Has Ryan Reynolds not popped up in a multitude of Rock films like Hobbs and Shaw? They're in Red Notice and soon Red Notice 2 and 3.
But do you think...
And they've been very, very friendly. And Ryan has actually talked about the whole coming back as Green Lantern. You know,
but do you think it's going to excite the people the same way Superman would?
Oh God, no. Oh, absolutely not. And I'm not even remotely saying this is going to happen. I do think it's Cavill at this point. But what I mean by that is if it's not Cavill, you know, because I'm trying to think of it from the perspective of okay, what could they potentially do? Donovan here, don't you dare entertain this. See, here's the thing though. If your response is don't you dare entertain this, that means in the back of your mind, you might be thinking that I'm onto something. Because he says bullshit, Cavill is king. Yep, he thinks I'm onto something. But he doesn't want to believe it. The Rock and Ryan Reynolds are very close, very good friends. And it's not to say that The Rock and Henry Cavill aren't good friends. But Henry Cavill hasn't been in a movie with The Rock. They haven't even really been on the same continent.
You think it could be Shazam?
It's possible. Do I think they're going to tie it into Shazam? I mean, on the planet, I don't quite know where the Shazam family originated from. Technically, Black Adam is a is a Shazam villain, but The Rock has been trying to turn him into a Superman villain for a long time. You know, I mean, that's the thing is everyone is talking about Cavill, but we did get, and I'll bring it up here. Look, they're making a joke, obviously, about the headless cameo stuff,
which is great. That's great.
But it's also not the right suit. It's not the right
Well,
suit at all.
it's a comic book panel.
Yeah, but Aquaman was Jason Momoa.
Still from a comic book, though. It's meant to like
Still
it's drawn
Jason
like
Momoa. Still Momoa. Right? Let me see. I got the do I have the other
Do you
images
think
here?
that they're gonna actually like have the level of detail that is Henry Cavill's suit? Like do you think that the comic book pictures, if that is indeed a comic book thing, like an image of it, do you think they're gonna know the intricate details of his suit?
Yes, because they're still part of the same yes, the company Warner Brothers still has all that shit in storage.
Well, you need to play the other clip though.
Well, I'm talking about like in the world.
I don't. Okay, so I don't have that clip. If you could grab that real quick,
yeah,
we can take a look at that one there. So here's the thing, though, right? Is all I'm saying is, the green here says the Flash didn't have the right suit either, so your argument doesn't hold any weight. Well, he has the outfit.
Well, no, he is right though. In the comic book panel in that clip, it's like a typical comic book Flash suit. It's not the one that.
Yeah, but also, isn't that what we saw Barry Allen wearing in the more of a comic accurate suit? What I'm saying
not
is,
really. That suit.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is though, when we saw the face of Aquaman, that was clearly Jason Momoa. That was clearly inspired by Momoa. And I understand that the joke, and I'll play the clip real quick too, because the whole trailer is like 16 seconds.
To negotiate your peaceful surrender.
Is that playing for you guys?
I see a black screen.
Yeah, I got.
Yeah. I don't know why it's a black screen for me too. Let's try that again.
To negotiate.
What the fuck? Hold on, I'll find it on Twitter and play it up. I don't know. It's actually like that was actually me uploading it, and not doing whatever. Yeah, you can't send me a DM for a person who has me blocked, Donovan.
Oh.
Krypton Cage.
Oh, Krypton Cage blocks you?
Yeah. Dude, I'm blocked by a lot of fucking people on a lot of Snyder fans block me, man.
I guess
you kidding me? Like because I don't suck the dick the way that they want me to suck the dick. But all right, I'll play this clip because I can just download it real quick. I am trying to find that oh god, it was the Flash. I'm pretty certain that he didn't send. Who sent it to me today? Oh god damn it.
I'm looking
all right.
for it. Sorry.
I'm trying to find no. You work on that. I'm trying to find, there we go, the actual Twitter post that has the video in it, because that will allow us to actually look. Okay, sorry guys. StreamYard sometimes works, it sometimes doesn't. So here we go on this one. This is the TikTok ad, which I have to say, good on them for going to TikTok. Because there's a lot of people on TikTok. Because this is not getting a lot of traction on Twitter. There's not a lot of love on Twitter for Black Adam. I haven't seen a lot of love on TikTok for Black Adam. But that could change.
Instagram, there's more, I think. Instagram is a lot more.
Because he's got a lot more people over there. That's true. Let's see.
To negotiate your peaceful surrender. There we go.
Black Adam. Rated PG-13.
So, I mean, again, all right, there we go. I mean, I thought this was pretty funny. That they did it.
It's like, come on, that has to be purposeful.
I mean, they're definitely teasing it. It's done on purpose. It might just be an in joke for the movie itself. I did go through this like kind of frame by frame to see if there's a shot of Superman in the back a little bit. I mean, because that's clearly fucking Momoa.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
That's clearly Momoa, right?
Well, it's
there.
Cool though. It's like you're showing the universe. Like it's like Shazam when they fought in the toy store.
Yeah, well, they fought in the toy store, but they had like Batman and Superman toys, which I thought was interesting.
They didn't look
anything like them. And then they also had the Batarang, and they had references to Batman v Superman. So you're like, okay, like that is Affleck's one. Like, what's going on here? Like, I'm just wondering if these take place in a different Earth. I just wonder if Black Adam. Here's my question. Okay, so check this out. What if this is an idea? What if Black Adam and Shazam take place in a different Earth, the same Earth that Barry Allen goes to in the Flash, and then that's what gets merged together is that universe and the other one, right? Because that would make sense as to why these other characters. I mean, why Superman is headless, because it could be a different Superman. We don't know. I mean, if they had cast a new Superman, we'd absolutely fucking know because that would have told us. But you can see, there's there's that, but it is meant to be Ezra, right? It is meant to be Ezra in this regard.
I mean, yeah, it's a typical Flash comic panel.
I will say I like the shot right here quite a bit.
Oh
with the
yeah. I
marbles.
mean, like there's like some slow-mo usage, but it actually looks like it's pretty well done slow-mo.
Yeah. All right, what do we got here? Just
bunch of random knickknacks.
Yeah, so they're fighting in a child's room.
Yeah, some kid's room.
Like, that's kind of messed up. They're tearing apart the whole apartment. All right, he's punching him or throws him through the wall.
The action looks pretty good. I mean, it's hard to tell because it's TikToks, the aspect ratio.
I would love it if they would release this in wide frame. So I could actually see like the rest of the image. But
maybe they don't want to because there's like background details.
It's entirely possible. Yeah, they don't want to do that. So okay, RG, you've got this one here. All right, let's bring
this is the interview that from the Jake guy. So I figured I wanted to play the first part because I feel like it's something that you're talking about. So I think it's kind of funny.
All fans, we want to see Black Adam face Superman. It's just what we want to see. Yeah. You talked about listening to the fans. What does that fight look like in your mind, and who lands the first punch?
Oh, he teased him. My bad. Hold up. There we go. Hold on.
Dude, how's the family?
Very good, man.
It's so good to see you.
Good to see you too. How are you?
Doing so well. Jake Hamilton, Good Day Chicago. Fucking love this movie, man. Fucking love this movie.
Thank you, man.
I'm going to jump into this because I got 1,000 questions.
Say it again. You fucking love this?
Fucking love the movie. In most G-rated fashion. We can definitely put that on the air.
Matt, he fucking loved the movie.
Yeah, go. but he also at the very end of this, like, goes, "Oh, The Rock, man, you gave me my first break in Hollywood. Like, you opened the door for me." And I'm like, "Look, man, I get it. Like, Jake Hamilton is a guy, but this is also the dude that had to mansplain the whole internet troll thing to Brie Larson. You know what I mean? Like, if you ever go back and look at that,
I never knew that.
Yeah. If you go back and you find that interview right before the release of Captain Marvel a couple years ago, he actually he asks her like, "Oh, so like the controversy," and she's like, "I don't really know like really what's going on." So then he had to explain to her, and it was very mansplaining. I was laughing my ass off at it when it happened. Who does he works with Cinema Blend, doesn't he? He's on like the Real Blend podcast. Isn't that what he does?
I don't know, to be honest. I don't know.
So
I had to look him up.
With that, you were cast in this role. We instantly start fantasizing about the different matchups. Oh, we want to see him fight Superman and Batman and Aquaman. And it's not unlike how we used to fantasize about different matchups when you were in the ring. And Black Adam has to come up with a cool name and a catchphrase.
Pause that real quick.
Has your experience?
That goes back to exactly what I've been talking about. Right? The hype for this movie is coming into it from people who are looking at it through the lens of professional wrestling rather than a comic book movie. And even he's approaching it from the lens. He talks about that a little bit here.
That's why I'm playing it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I just thought that was fascinating because, like I keep trying to say, it's like, I really think that I know the audience are trying to court are like the wrestling fans. They're trying to set up the heel versus babyface. They're trying to set up the narrative, set up the storylines. I get all that, but it's like most people who are probably not going to be deeply invested in that whole thing, and that could be a very bad move. I mean, that's just like I don't know if that's going to happen.
That, but I think the one aspect of what he like the wrestling approach does make sense, though. He gets into that though.
In DC, been more similar to your experience in WWE than you expected it to be?
Yes, number one, and also number two, I think me cutting my teeth and making my bones in pro wrestling, even before WWE, when I started down in Memphis, wrestling for Jerry the King Lawler and Jerry Jarrett and Jeff Jarrett and those guys, that and wrestling in those little flea markets that I used to wrestle at, then getting to WWE, I think my experience in the world of pro wrestling helped me craft an even better Black Adam. Because ultimately what the world of wrestling always did for me, number one, always listen to the audience. Let them inform you. They will always inform you on where you need to go. But then also do your best to think 10, 12, 20 steps ahead. So in the world of wrestling, oftentimes, if I knew what our WrestleMania main event would be, me and say Stone Cold Steve Austin, we'd work backwards from there. So it's the same thing
which that's kind of true, because that's true. You plan out okay, so you decide we want to do this WrestleMania main event. How do we build the storyline to get there? That's kind of like the cinematic universe if you think about it, right? Where your destination is. It's about building towards how you get there.
Yeah, no, he's not wrong. I mean, he's not wrong. But again, if you look,
even Marvel's structured like that. It's like a wrestling thing in a way. It's like, okay, well, we want to fight Thanos. How do we get to Thanos, right? How do we get to Secret Wars? You build up the storylines leading up to it.
Sure, they definitely have an end game here, 100%. But it's like his mentality of using wrestling is going to be. I mean, obviously that's just his upbringing, that's his experience. So they'll talk about that. It is not much different than the way things usually go, but again, it's
also
kind of
listening to the fans too, being like, okay, the fans want to see this, this, and this. Can we deliver on that? And does it make sense? That's also part of
that's not all, but that's not all. But then again, though, it's like that's only part of it too, right? Listening. See, I'm not trying to be that guy, but the concept of listening to the fans is rather a misnomer. And the reason why I say it like that is because it's a very all-encompassing. It's a get out of jail fucking free card. Right? It is. It's a get out of jail free card in a number of ways. Because when you say, oh, all you got to do is listen to the fans, they'll inform you of where to go. You're still the one creating the product. So the fans may want something that you may not be able to viably give. You may not be able. Right. And then at that point, if you
right.
So that's what I'm saying though. It's like in the case of Henry Cavill, which again, I think he's going to be in it. There is that hinting, that whole idea of it. And if they're not able to deliver on that, that is going to tank it. I really think that's going to tank it. And this is where he's gambling. Oh
yeah, it is a gamble, but I think here's the thing. I think the distinction is you listen to your fans. I think Max said this best earlier tonight. You listen to your fans. You don't always do exactly what they say, but you listen to your fans and you make the best decision that you can at the time. To like what makes sense for like what's going to please the audience to get them to want to come back for more.
Yeah, no, I hope the movie has enough action in it to make people want to watch it again. But at the same time, we've also seen enough Marvel movies over the course of the past 14, 15 years now that, I mean, hell, even over 20 years, right? Since X-Men back in the, fuck Blade, 98, Batman, and we've seen comic book movies now for literally up to, decades. What exactly is Black Adam going to bring to the table that is new creatively? Not just the characters, but what's it going to bring to the table that's new creatively? And I will say this.
I think the marketing's failed to address that.
I really agree. I agree. I think he's doing what he can to be a good businessman here. Now the fourth here for $5. Thanks, buddy. There are other super chats. We'll get to them here in a second. This one is very related to what we're talking about. He says, if you listen to the fans, you wind up sitting next to them. And I do think that's the problem because like the thing is, I do believe that Dwayne here is very much afraid of having a repeat of Comic-Con. I don't think that he was booed in a way that was like terrible. I don't even think he was booed. I think people were like, but I think it shook him.
But you know what though? I think it's a good thing because a lesser businessman or a businessman with a complete ego would have said, I know better. I know what I'm doing. Screw that. Whatever. They were just dumb fans. I think he took that Comic-Con experience to be like, okay, they don't want cookie cutter answers. They want more direct hints. They want to actually know with confidence that we're building towards something and we're giving them what they want. Yeah. That's why I think he's been a little more loose lately in the interviews. Because I think he knows.
Well, he's playing it up. He's charming. He's using that to his advantage. He's charming.
But I don't think he would have gone as hard if it was for Comic-Con. He would.
That's what a car salesman does, right? A good salesman knows how to put on the charm and definitely knows how to give the right answer when asked a question. It's being diverting while giving them still something, right? It's all like when he goes, see, you can kind of tell from that one video where he's at the gym and he's all like, there's no, nothing on this planet that can stop Black Adam. And then he just pauses
and winks
on this planet, wink. And you're like, okay, come on. That was like a bad take. You should have done that again. But it's also Jimbo left apparently at some point in time. I have no idea. But
I don't know.
He left by Jimbo. But I'm just saying it's like he's teasing that because he knows that's what everyone's been asking about. And a lot of these interviews are all going to be about Cavill or about Superman. And that's what they've been. Yeah. That's what they've fucking been.
Yeah, I know. Which again, I think it's a problem just because I don't know if that's a reflection of like, because I want to make a point earlier about what I think this movie is going to do that's unique. Real quick,
Sure.
I think what they've been trying to present is the fact that you are following a villainous character who has no sense of a moral compass. Like you're following, like your main lead of this film is a guy who will snap you and break you in half if you look at him the wrong way. Like a guy who's just like evil and wants to do things his way or the highway, right? You're seeing this very villainous, very destructive force of nature. But I don't think the marketing's really conveyed that as well as it could have, because I don't know. I feel like
But the marketing,
some of that.
But the marketing has also relied on the same like 4 or 5 sound bites.
And the same 4 or 5 scenes. Like
exactly.
They've really not shown much of the movie.
And that's a good thing. And it's about like showing off these little extra bits here, like those 4 little clips today. Those are pretty good. I'm not going to play until I don't want to deal with.
But they're also extensions from the trailer.
Yes, there's extensions of things we already know of. They're kind of just, doing a little bit. But again, you had the situation with showing that like 8 frames or whatever of fucking Steppenwolf. Not even of Steppenwolf, the back of his head of just a boom tube hitting the ground, and people lost their shit. And I do think that plays a part.
And they changed it right away too.
And they did change, which I thought was a really dumb move. Because if that was in that trailer, that's probably something that might be in the movie. And I think that's what they're bracing for impact. I think they want to maybe have, because again, like I've said, the movie has been picture lock since July. It's been done since July. The movie's been finished since July. So whatever is happening now in the marketing is footage that was already going out there from an already completed film. So if that was there, that's entirely possible that this is something that's going to pop up.
But sometimes marketing campaigns have used archive footage from other movies in their marketing.
Yeah, but not this late. Not this late in the game, though. I don't believe this late in the.
We'll see. I don't know.
We'll see. I mean, it's like I think it might be like if they mention, the Justice Society mentions the JLA or the Justice League, and they talk about who's there, and they're giving him a rundown, kind of like the opening of Suicide Squad when they were giving the rundown of all the villains,
and like explaining Black Adam the history or whatever.
Yeah. So real quick here, Luis Hernandez, who's been a matinee member for 14 months. Thank you very much, buddy. Says if Superman isn't in this, The Rock will take a big L. Yeah, but again, he will. But it's kind of like Shazam, had a build up on that. There was a whole contract controversy with Henry Cavill. But then Shazam came out, the movie was really good. And even though that cameo, headless cameo at the end was bad, it didn't affect how people viewed the movie. You know what I mean? Like,
no, because it was
Peacemaker,
a good movie. Yeah.
It was a good movie. Peacemaker was a great series, man. I fucking love Peacemaker. Had that headless cameo or faceless cameo at the end. People complained, but it didn't impact the overall view of the series.
Right, but also nobody expected the Justice League to show up. So even though it wasn't faceless cameos, it was still exciting.
Yeah, it was something we were anticipating something, but not that. That was like we thought it was going to be like Harley Quinn or Bloodsport or something. Not that it was
not Jason Momoa, Ezra Miller, and the Justice League.
Yeah, right. Yeah, minus Cyborg. That's kind of funny. I think that's a Walter Hamada bit.
And Batman wasn't there either.
Yeah, that part makes sense because I think they're still trying to figure out who Batman is. Tales from the Hood TV here says, "No way this will be as good as Shazam."
Listen,
those two different movies, though.
Well, yeah, they're different movies. But here's the thing: those clips that dropped today, they were good. They were good clips.
Yeah. Like the thing about Shazam is you got to look at Shazam through the lens of being like a 1980s style film, like Big meets Goonies sort of thing. It has those even the boardroom scene has very Gremlin vibes to it.
Oh, like the whole movie has Gremlins and Big vibes. Those two movies.
Yeah, it has that 80s feel to it, and that's what I think Sandberg brought to the table, and what I think Sandberg will bring to the table in the next one. But this movie does not have that vibe. This movie is very much something that is different. Because again, you can have tonally different things exist in the same universe. What they need to do, and this is unfortunately, and I will say this, it's absolutely unfair on The Rock to be in this position. And I mean that legitimately. It is unfair for him to be in this position. He has taken it on, and his larger than life persona has kind of maybe like forced him to take that on. But what's really unfortunate is the fact that he has to sit here now and basically like be the linchpin for the future of the DCEU. And even though who knows what's going to happen, with all this
Yeah,
stuff. But
well,
it's
he's taking the brunt of the responsibility. I feel like.
Well,
like,
he's
like
well,
this movie, like ride like this is the ride or die moment for DC for a while.
Sure, it's the ride or die moment for DC. But the problem though is that this is New Line, not Warner Brothers directly. Yes, New Line is under the umbrella of Warner's, but this is like, you know, I don't think Warner Brothers is going to want to work a deal with $7 Productions for their main line of shit. That's why they're working.
They should.
They probably should. But after the whole Joker fiasco with how the financing of that broke down, they're not going to want to do that. Something like Black Adam, if they took forever to get off the ground and they came in as a co-financer, same with Shazam, same with DC League of Super Pets. They came on in as a co-financer. Those are movies that Warner's know will make some money. They'll make some money. It's not going to be like, you know, the end all be all of profit, but they also are not going to want to give up any kind of creative control to these characters, to somebody else, without there being somebody in place. That's ultimately what I've been talking about. So it's like, when you look at this movie and you look at the idea of the cameos in this film, they are tied into the greater DCEU, which is awesome. And I'm really excited to see that. But at the end of the day, it's like there's still the hierarchy of power at Warner Brothers. And that might have changed recently, but that doesn't mean that The Rock is in the same position he was a couple of years ago when this shit started, you know, getting put together. And that's what I'm like really, really curious to find out more of, because I would love for there to be a more cohesive universe, and they need to do it. If you recall, I think it was it Comic-Con or something, or was it the Upfront or whatever? It might've been the Upfront, where, you know, people had this like massive expectation of everything. And, you know, they had said they didn't do it. It might've been the TCAs or something. I forget what it was, man, but they're like, later on this year, we'll do something to tell you guys our plan. Now things have changed since then. Obviously the Batgirl cancellation, I think, fucked a lot of shit up. But they still haven't come forward to talk about the future of the Batman, right? We know that Matt Reeves is working on the script. We know that the Penguin starts filming, I think, early next year. The Arkham Asylum show is currently being developed, although personally, I think that's going to be canceled.
I think so too, which is really sad.
I say that because Joker 2 will take place in Arkham Asylum, so having they're not going to want to have that crossover. Even though I would much rather see a Matt Reeves Arkham Asylum show than the Joker 2. Like, I don't have a lot of hype for Joker 2 until I see it, just I see a trailer.
It sounds interesting. I don't know. I got to see how it goes.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Joseph here says Aquaman opened with 67 million. Black Adam is tracking to open with 75 million plus. There's a difference though. Aquaman opened up alongside Mary Poppins and Bumblebee and Spider-Man.
Opened during Christmas,
Christmas, yeah.
Which means people go to the movies multiple times in December and January, because something really opens in January.
Yeah.
Black Adam has 3 weeks to make money for Wakanda Forever comes out.
And Wakanda Forever is going to decimate it in every conceivable sense.
The pre-sale tickets are like the pre-sale numbers. No joke. Thursday night in my area, it's already pretty much sold out.
Yeah. And yet I'm not hearing any reports of like how well of Black Adam picking up more pre-sales.
But it's not the kind of movie that's going to sell its pre-sale tickets though either.
No, I think a lot of it's going to be word of mouth, but that could also very much hurt the opening box office. But then if word of mouth sustains on the second weekend of the drop off is, let's say 40 to 50%, then it's going to be okay. But it really is also how the international audiences will respond to this. And again, I have no fucking idea because there's so much shit there. Now there's a clip that, here that Donovan had said. This is what Krypton Cage had.
Okay, so this is the clip of him talking about the
head of DC with BD from Comic Book.
I've been attached to this role for like a decade now. We've talked about this, but in that decade, I mean, there's been a lot of changes behind the scenes, both, I mean, for the plans for this movie with executives at the studio. I'd love to hear, you know, how have there been any kind of tangible, quantifiable changes that have affected Black Adam over the years, or, you know, is this exactly where you were always going?
Well, that's a great question. And not only that, but then you have the JSA, you have all these incredible characters. Let's go for it. Let's give it to the people. Let's build out this universe. So I feel really good, Brandon, to ask your question about where we're at today. I feel really confident in the new leadership that's in here now at Warner Brothers, and actively looking now we're going to land on some leadership on the DC side too. So this idea that I've been saying for about a year now about, hey, this is a new era in the DC universe. it's a new era there. It's a new era in Black Adam. You saw the end of Black Adam. That's a new era too as well that we're bringing in. So I feel good.
There you go. I mean,
It's Green Lantern.
it's not. Come on.
It's Green Lantern, dude. It's gonna be Green Lantern.
Stop. Just
If
stop.
it's Green Lantern, oh my god, I'm gonna
Yes,
do a TikTok about that tomorrow. I'll make that a
the
standalone
thing
video.
already leaked. It already leaked, Matt. Just it's okay. It's okay to say.
It didn't. I haven't seen it leak out from anywhere.
The press already leaked it, bro. They already leaked it.
Oh come on! I saw the. Come on! I saw
It's okay, Matt. He's back.
like
It's
again.
okay.
The press leaked
It's
it.
okay.
Like what was it? What was the tweets from like those weird French or Portuguese accounts that are just like saying all these things like, oh, Daniel RPK confirmed this, and then you look at Daniel RPK's and it's like nothing from Daniel RPK on it. You know, like at this point, you literally do not know what to believe.
Matt, I will drop you $100 super chat if it's Green Lantern. Okay.
No, it's probably Superman. I just want to piss everybody off by saying Green Lantern.
Okay, I'm just saying. It's okay to say the words. He's back, bro.
Oh no, I've been saying it's like, but what does it mean? You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. I want to know what it means. That's what I care about. I don't want to get, like I said before, I don't want to get my hopes up to get hurt.
I know.
I just don't. I'm just like I'm a big Man of Steel fan.
But the fact that in every interview it's like, well, you guys saw the end. You know where we're going. I mean, come on.
Well, let's see how that stacks up, though. That's the thing, right? You can hype it to hell and back, but if it doesn't land, it doesn't land. So we'll know more. We'll know more in 2 days when the world premiere happens. There will be some info.
Is it in 2 days?
Yeah, it's on the 12th.
Oh shit, I forgot. Yeah.
So we'll know more in a couple nights. By the way, real quick, Luis Hernandez just upped his membership from a matinee to a prime member. Thank you so much, Luis. Really, really, really appreciate that. Hold on, I have forgotten some super chats.
Yeah, we should probably get
we've been going to that. I'm so sorry, you guys. So okay, Marcus here for $2 asks, RJ, what if Black Adam bombs?
I don't think it will, so I'm gonna answer that. If it does bomb, then that's unfortunate, and that probably means DC's dead. So.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's apathy to the characters. I really am. Like, it's been 5 years since Superman was on the screen.
I'm not joking, by the way. If this movie bombs, DC's dead and has to reboot. I'm not joking. This movie needs to succeed.
And then all of a sudden, we'll hear rumors that The Rock is now rumored to play Hercules in the MCU.
Well, they already cast Hercules. It'd be somebody else.
They've recast before.
It's Brett Goldstein, who just came off of Ted Lasso. They ain't recast.
He's still on Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso's ending this season, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it at all.
That's why he jumped to Marvel, because
it's about to end. Is it a good show? I've never seen it.
I haven't seen it. I hear nothing but good things.
Okay.
So.
Rationally for $5, Matt, thank you, says, what do you think of Superman in fight? Wait, what? Oh, wait, who do you want Superman to fight in Man of Steel 2? Giancarlo Esposito's Brainiac, Peter Dinklage Toyman, or Jason Mewes' Lobo? Jason Mewes' Lobo. Snoochie Boochies, baby. No, I'll tell you this though, man. For like, what I want is I want him to go up against probably Brainiac would be great, but Giancarlo Esposito,
It's a typical cat. I want something different.
Professor X is, I think, a role better suited for him because he always plays the bad guy. So let him be a good guy.
Yeah, something different.
Something different for him. I like, the thing is, I love Giancarlo Esposito. He's an amazing actor, but he is typecast as a bad guy. So let's see if he can pull off a good guy role. But I do want to see going up against Brainiac, but a smartly written Brainiac. Nothing with fucking spiders. Nothing with spiders. And then Mo here for 2 says, RJ, let him in. I think that's a reference to the space.
No, it's a reference to Bray Wyatt. It's a wrestling reference.
Let's see, Marcus here for $2 more. Thank you. Says Black Adam will open to 50 million and drop 65%.
All the tracking saying 75 or above. 65 or above. 65 or above.
60. I've seen 60 to 65, 75, which is really my personal favorite. Little bit about that though is the little caveat to it where they go, which would be a personal best for a Dwayne Johnson opening. I love that. I just because it backs up
where he's the lead. Yes.
You know, so it's kind of like, but it's funny about that is they discount Jumanji,
which is
also
weird.
A leading man. Jack Black is a leading man, you know, so it very much becomes they come co-leads. Here, the JSA is clearly a supporting cast, you know, so it's like there's that. But no, listen, hey, good for him if he hits. They've already got my fucking money, so there's really nothing there that's gonna go crazy with that. Thank you. Ryan here goes back to the earlier points. Say, go for it. You should cover horror more often. I actually want to. I'm going to start researching some horror stuff tomorrow for what's coming down the pipeline. I still need to see Hellraiser. It's just getting the 2 hours has been a bit difficult. We'll lead here for 2 New Zealand. Thanks, buddy. Says Black Adam will not make more than 5 worldwide. I think 500 is a good number. Keep going as high as 650.
I still say 650, but if it gets a 7, if we get to 7 from it, that'd be great.
If it gets to 7, that is an unmitigated success in my opinion. But the budget on this movie is apparently like 250. So it's got to hit 750 to at least become semi-profitable. That is a tall fucking order that I don't think you're going to be able to do. I just don't see it happen. I mean, not in 3 weeks. You know, like, okay, some movies can crack $1 billion in a week. Like Star Wars can crack $1 billion. Marvel can crack $1 billion in a week. Like these movies can crack $1 billion. Avatar is probably going to do the same thing. Super quick. They're going to crack these $1 billion numbers. Black Adam is an untested character in a very shaky market up on a very kind of, I want to say, weakened franchise. I don't want to say the DCEU is dead because, you know, again, Peacemaker was awesome. That's tied into it. I love the Suicide Squad. You know, Shazam 2 is going to be big. Flash, Aquaman. There's a lot of good stuff there, but it is weakened. And now what we've always agreed that the Rock is very much franchise Viagra. And that is true. But again, the difference though between Fast and Furious and let's say Jumanji is that here he's the one in the lead. He's the one who's got it all on his shoulders. Because joining Fast and Furious, you've got Vin, you had Paul, you had Jordana Brewster, Michelle Rodriguez, Tyrese, Ludacris, all those characters. You know, even Gal Gadot, because she was in, you know, fucking Fast 5 and Fast 6. So even that, you had that all together. They had a lot of personalities in these movies, and he wasn't the main star. And then even you get something like, you know, Red Notice. A lot of people watch Red Notice, but was it because of Ryan Reynolds or Gal Gadot or The Rock? I mean, like there's a massive combination there. So here, that safety blanket, if you think about it, that security blanket that he's always kind of had, where he's the ability to come on in and be that guy and be like, you know, the injection of adrenaline, so to speak. But he always has the ability to go, oh, I'm not the star of this, and then back off, which he's done. But now this is him. This is his moment, RJ. And that is true. And I'm not being critical, like being mean. I mean, literally, this is his moment. This is the dun 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 dun. You know, this is his lose yourself moment. He's got to hit it.
I'm going to send you something real quick on the private chats from the numbers.com. I want to bring this up because it's kind of interesting. It breaks down like all of his box office as a leading man. So
yeah. All right. Okay, cool. Real quick here. Moisture for 5. Thank you. It says if Black Adam bombs, they'll just move on with the Flash and Aquaman. I mean, they will.
No, I think it's going to reboot.
You think they're going to reboot with Flash and Aquaman?
No, like those two will come out, then they'll reboot. Then they're done. They're scrapping everything.
Well, they haven't. They have not. You know. Mentioned. Hold on. You said. Hold on. Which one am I looking at here?
This is from the numbers.com, isn't it? That's what they said.
Oh, right. Where he's the leading role here. So, worldwide leading role for him is a total of about $9.79 billion in box office revenue for the last, let's see, going all the way back to 2002. Well, no, leading role. Oh, leading? No. So here's the problem. It's a lead or ensemble.
Oh, it should be leading role. I thought
it's lead or ensemble.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, okay, because that like, yeah. I mean, I could run through some numbers here real quick. I mean, but it's fine, you know, because if you look at it, even then, it's like Moana. He was the male lead, but I would say that he wasn't the lead. That would be
well.
Moana.
He's the biggest part of the marketing. He's the name value for that movie.
Yeah, but at the end,
nobody knew at that point who Ali Carvalho was. She was like, that was her first ever role.
Oh, sure. She was like, what, like 15, 16 when that came out?
Yeah.
You know, Central Intelligence, it was mostly Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart was
I
the...
I put it up on my screen if you want to show it.
Sure.
So, that's kind of a little bigger.
Yeah, there we go. So, I mean, like, he pops up in Free Guy. right? Like part of an ensemble there. Red Notice.
Left hand cut. This is domestic. This is international.
Yeah,
So.
well then you have worldwide on the side, which is what I look at. But Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw. That was again a co movie.
No, it made 700 though.
760, but again, how much of that was also fans of the franchise and fans of Jason Statham and The Rock? There's a lot that goes into it. Let's see. Skyscraper was all him, 304 million. Rampage was all him, so that was 427. And you've got he was in Gem and the Holograms as himself. I didn't know that.
I didn't know either.
2.3 million.
But that movie was well. Yeah,
that was so. You got San Andreas. That was all him. 456 million. You know, I mean,
but some of these movies are also like way smaller budgets. Like these are like his like first big leading roles too.
Sure. Well, this is all, but if you look, this is 2015 to 2022 is what we're looking at here. So that's the last 7 years. So if you go down San Andreas, right, keep going down a little bit further, right? Because then you've got like G.I. Joe Retaliation, where he was the lead in that. Absolutely. 375 Snitch, which I did.
Pure Roboting. Robot.
Yeah, it crapped out for a second. Okay, Mike, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. There you go.
Okay. So then you got Fast Five, again, Hobbs, right? But he was again, ensemble. Faster was him, 35 million. The other guys was just he had a small part in that one. The Tooth Fairy was all him, 110. Get Smart, he had a cameo in.
But this is before The Rock became a big deal though. Like,
but this is still coming off of wrestling. He was still he was still known back in.
But dude, look at John Cena. John Cena didn't become John Cena until like really like the last couple of years.
Well, okay, but
when you're like a wrestler transitioning to movies, it's a slow build up because most of the time you start off like really shitty, and then maybe if you're lucky, you blow up.
Yeah, like Triple H being in that. What was that movie he was in?
Yeah, Triple H's movie career didn't work out.
No, he was in Blade Trinity, and then he was in a horror movie too, if I recall. But but again, my whole point with this essentially is that like you can see that even as time has gone on, when he became a leading man himself post Fast Five, let's just say post Fast Five, the numbers have not been great. They've been okay, but they haven't been like, oh my God. And that's what I've been saying for the longest fucking time. This has the opportunity to kind of break the mold on that one. But again, how much of that is going to be backed up by being DC, having Pierce Brosnan, Aldous Hodge, and is also going to be the curiosity of the event. That's something else I'm curious about too. So, WWE had the Marine franchise. They did.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't it John Cena?
It was John Cena in the first movie, then they transitioned to another guy in the second one, and then it became The Miz. So it's 3 different actors play the Marine.
Well, I mean, there's 5 Scorpion King movies apparently. So, and The Rock was only in one of them. I never watched all the Scorpion King films. Did we ever see him become bad at the end of that?
I have no clue.
I really no idea. Moisture for 5, thanks, buddy. Says, to play devil's advocate, does Ryan Reynolds movie do that well outside of Deadpool?
Not really, no.
Not really. No, you're right. Deadpool was kind of what
Free Guy was an exception.
Free Guy did well. I think if the Adam Project would have gone to cinemas, it would have actually found an audience. I do. But I really loved the Adam Project. I thought that was great. But yeah, you had Free Guy. I mean, no, he's done okay. You're right, though. You're right. That's an idea there, though. But combined together, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Did you see, though, on that list that Red Notice had only done 173,000?
Yeah, but again, it was a streaming movie, dude. Like, I don't count that.
It was, to be fair, Army of the Dead.
Only a hater counts Red Notice. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Yeah, right. Only a hater counts facts that I don't. Yeah, all right. Whatever,
I'm sorry. Man. It's just like
that's
hater mentality, man.
Hater mentality.
Why don't you attribute Red Notice to Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah, I would do that too. Yeah. It's a collective failure, RJ. It's a collective failure. That's what it is. It's a collective failure. Oh man.
Oh, here we go. I finally found like the little clip. Like it's the clip from the Jake Hamilton interview.
Okay, good.
So there you go.
All right, here we go.
I was also listening to the fans at the same time, where you have Black Adam. We will create Black Adam for him to be the most powerful and unstoppable force on this planet. the most powerful and unstoppable force in the entire universe, has been on the sidelines for too long.
Come on, Matt. Who else is he talking about? The most powerful force in the DC universe has been on the sidelines for too long.
Sinestro?
Sinestro ain't even in like top 50 strongest in the universe.
I mean, if Superman's weak to magic.
Who else, Matt? Who else is the strongest in the universe has been on the sidelines for too long?
Martian Manhunter.
Nobody gives a shit about Martian Manhunter like that.
Oh no, he's definitely teasing it. But like I said, man, you could make a good argument for Green Lantern.
Nah, man.
You could make a good argument for Green Lantern.
You're gonna get so much shit next week.
I don't fucking care. I'm having fun.
I know. I'm just saying.
I don't give a shit.
So much
like
shit next week.
You know, if they come out and they say like, you know, if an image comes out or a rumor comes out of like Zach meeting with The Rock or something like that, I'm gonna laugh my fucking ass off. But no, it's like
it's like they like this picture of them shaking hands at like a dinner table, like with like a stack of like papers and contracts.
That would just be funny, man. That would be really, really fucking funny. Well,
damn, Bezok.
Charpo's an Omega dick right now. Look, man, I'm gonna go see the movie next week. I got my ticket. It's on my calendar. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna go see it. And then I'm hoping that it's there, and I'm going to be really excited if we see it. And if we don't see it, I'm going to be like, well, okay, hopefully the movie's still good.
I think it'll be a good. I'm optimistic it'll be a fun movie. I think it's going to be okay.
I think it's going to be I think it's going to be entertaining enough to be okay. Also, guys, we got 135 people watching right now. Go ahead and smack the like, because this next little bit here, we're still on the subject of Black Adam. Is something RJ brought up. It got a very I don't want to say unprovoked, but unexpected response today.
Oh, which one was this? I forgot.
This is the one where you had said, if that tweet about Cavill wanting to work with Jeff Johns on the new Superman movie, and that was one of his big requests coming back, ends up being true, my God. And,
yeah, because that was from My Time to Shine Hello, tweeted that.
Yeah,
like
and
he was replying to some Snyder account saying, yeah, apparently Cavill really wants to work with Jeff Johns again.
Well, we've heard that before. There's been reports of that before about how he did not care for how Superman was portrayed in BVS.
Okay, so let me clarify that, because that's a little not true. So he did an interview with GQ where he basically said, I understood where Zach was going, and I think that was important for his character arc, but all he said was, I wanted us to have more time before he turned evil and got corrupted by Darkseid. He said he wanted more time to explore more of Superman as an actual character in his humanity. So he said he doesn't mind where Zach was going to take it. He just wished that there was another movie or two in between. That was his main issue, supposedly.
Okay.
Like he wished there was he wished he could have had more time to explore the man, in Superman.
Yeah, I get that. I do think, though, as for exploring the man side of it, he did a pretty good job for Man of Steel and BVS for like exploring the human side of it. But then so there's a couple little things that I thought that was interesting here. But what got me though was this response.
Viewer Anon came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
he does not follow me. I have no clue why he showed up to reply this.
Viewer Anon, I think he pays closer attention.
Because then he tweeted more stuff about this.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
Oh, yeah. It's on his profile.
So he says, well, Jeff Johns co-wrote both Gal Gadot's standalone movies, even if he didn't get credit for Wonder Woman. Affleck, by all accounts, enjoyed writing his Batman script with him. Momoa seems to dig him. I'm guessing they'll be cool with it. Remember, like the only one in the crew that fucking does not like Jeff Johns is Ray Fisher. And that's predominantly because of Joss Whedon. I mean, I'm pretty sure like Zach, probably look, if everyone else is cool with Jeff Johns, I'm sure Zach has probably got like no real beef. I think his beef was more with like Tushihara and he understood, Emmerich. I think, and Emmerich and things like that, because Jeff Johns was just a person who was brought in to oversee the division, and it's like he had just been brought in and it was like this whole thing. And I think a lot of it again was like, I think even Johns, who was completely unprepared and unqualified for that role at the time. I think even he was just at this point being a company yes man. It was like all on paper. It was like a paper appointment sort of thing. My take on it, at least. That's kind of what it feels like. So anyway, let's go back, take a look here. Oh, I just got to say, love this banner, by the way.
Oh, that's great.
Apparently, Trick or Treat 2 is in development, according to Mike Daughtry. Daughtry. I can't wait because I fucking love that goddamn movie. So, okay. All right. So, this is the quote here, right? You're talking about. I've always enjoyed. This is from Henry. I've always enjoyed the traditional, very classic view on Superman in the comic books. I think there's an enormous complexity to that character. I know when I was working with Joss, he and I saw eye to eye on some of the aspects of Superman, that paragon of hope, that ideal, that wonderful feeling of, oh, good, Superman's here. I have also developed a very personal, protective relationship over this character, and it was just lovely to have the opportunity to smile and feel good. So some guys, this guy Ryan here says that basically saying what we were talking about with soups and stuff. Anon here says, retweeting this because there's going to be some very interesting discussions with Cavill's return. He had major problems with Superman's portrayal in BVS and shared a lot of Joss's ideas for the character. Going on to say, I know it will be unpopular to say this, but I don't have many problems conceptually with Superman and Justice League. I thought Henry did well with it. There was just so little time. The execution falters, but then says, hey, I also like Henry and Zack Snyder's Justice League. He's properly heroic in that role too. And he's right. I think Henry has been able to nail it as best as he possibly can. And given the material.
Yeah. I also have this video clip here of the GQ interview real quick, because this kind of goes in a little more detail as well.
The wonderful thing about Man of Steel and what Snyder and Nolan and I wanted to do with Superman was create a Superman who was accessible in the sense that what would we do if we lived in a world where we had to keep every single aspect of ourselves hidden and we couldn't really truly interact with people? And how would that affect us? It's especially when you have that scene with Kevin Costner who's saying, look, don't reveal yourself. The world is not ready for you yet, and it'll only be a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's supportive of like Zach's vision too. So it's not like
I don't think he's against it. But I think, he probably I think it's not Zach's fault. I don't want to say that. Zach wanted Man of Steel too. Warner Brothers wanted BVS. That is true. So in that regard, looking at that idea, we go, okay, great. Cavill, I think, they did what they had to do because this is what the studio wanted, but obviously they wanted more time to get there, which is why they kind of had to cobble BVS together. And again, I love the movie, so it works for me. But, then I think the way Zach had approached Justice League was this is a massive, massive, massive movie. Let's shoot extra stuff in order to make sure that we have the space to fill it.
Yeah. I think Fourth 1000 says is the best. I feel like he just feels like he hasn't come to true form with the character yet. He's so close to being there with it. That's he got cut out right before he was really getting into it. The main core of the character, the true run.
Yeah. So. Shiny here says, I bet The Rock is watching the stream. Maybe you've got 140 people watching right now. So thank you guys very much. But no, I agree with you. But
let's really chat about this for a second. If this comes out that we're getting a new Superman movie, let's say 2 weeks from now they drop the report in the Hollywood Reporter, and say Henry Cavill will return with so and so writing and directing, with Jeff Johns heavily involved in producing, how are people going to react?
It's going to be a lot of crying and coming at the same time. They're going to be leaking out of every orifice.
Will people be happy or will they be upset that Jeff is involved?
I think that, so for one, Casey Walsh put out a tweet today, because My Time to Shine had said, no joke, Cavill really wants Johns to be involved in the next Superman film. Casey says, I know people don't want to believe this and have been trying to say the guy would never work at Warner Brothers again. The fact is Johns is still involved in most live action DC projects, either as a producer or uncredited advisor. And as Stargirl ends, he'll have more time for movies. So, I mean, that kind of makes sense, and then we're also hearing, that, Johns wants to be involved going forward. And then Daniel RPK is saying that Henry Cavill is now popped up. He's now going to be at the end of The Flash.
Yeah, they retooled the ending. which
that they
which
retool.
makes sense.
Yeah, that they're going to have him in the same
because they
world
want to
as-
set up Supergirl and Superman teaming up.
which is why I think that obviously they're heading towards some version, some form of Infinite Crisis or Crisis on Infinite Earths, right? Somehow they're aiming towards that. But again, it's like I think what they're trying to do with the Flash and everything else is just reset things, but also have a trajectory forward to the end point of this particular saga. And that, look, if they're able to pull that off, and it does start with Black Adam, which would make the most amount of sense. If it does start with Black Adam and then go through that, I'm hoping that's what happens. My fear with this, RJ, and this is based in reality, is that Hamada had tried, he didn't want the connected universe. Hamada wanted things to be separate.
Well, I think that it was just, also too, think about this too. They tried going connected with Justice League. It bombed spectacularly. So they had to go to a rebuild mode. So the rebuilding mode was just do standalones. Don't emphasize the connectivity. Now they're ready to start connecting again because they need to. So hopefully it pays off. That's what they've been hoping for, because it's like the baby steps to try and get back to that interconnectivity.
Yeah. I mean, again, I'm hopeful that they're able to do it. I think at this point, like, we talk about it so much because we know that Marvel's got it covered. We know that even though some things kind of hiccup and fall, whatever.
Well, Marvel, it's just like we know what's happening. It's like, okay, it's just like it's a matter of just waiting and like looking at the content and just watching it and be entertained. With DC, it's all like, what the hell are they gonna do? Because like they're just so unpredictable. It's like you never know what's gonna happen. Like tomorrow the sky could fall. It's like, oh, Warner Brothers is gonna sell again, or Warner Brothers is like doing this movie again. It's like, the fuck's going on over there?
Yeah.
It's like, the fuck they doing over there? It's just like, you don't know. So it's just like, it's so wildly unpredictable. It's kind of more fun to talk about.
It's I think so in therein lies the problem. And it's actually a good segue that you talk about. Yes, speculation is fun. Obsession with speculation is not. And that is where a lot of people are. Even a year and a half removed from the Snyder Cut, a lot of people on social media are still there. That's why I think look, to be fair, I think the next 10 days on Twitter, especially like in DC Twitter, is going to be a fucking powder keg and a dumpster fire at the same time. Because every little thing that comes out, every little tease that The Rock makes is going to trigger somebody. Because he's talking about like, oh, you've seen the ending. It's at the end. Oh, there's a return of a character at the end. No one else on this planet could stop me, sort of thing. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. And then you're right. He's edging. And people, man, there are people out there who can't handle their edge. There are people out there that can't hold that release. They can't do it. Premature ejaculation is a real problem that a lot of men suffer from. So it's like, this is an issue where people might not be able to control themselves. But when we talk about the information as it comes out, people become obsessive with who has that information. And if they don't like them, they want to attack them, as one of the reasons why this whole scooper war kind of happened the last couple of days, because this is something I saw pop up today. It says, well, how do we know that the Flash film news is actually reliable? Because that's been called into question very heavily.
Oh, dude, they were pissed that Flash Film News was listening to the space. They thought they were part of the coordination too.
Yeah, there's again here, and then is but I don't know, probably because the producer and director's sister just shared their post. Mm-hmm. And that's true. They've had conversations with Barbara Muschietti, and they've been able to pass along information about the movie.
Oh, I guarantee you the Muschiettis are in direct contact and give them stories to report. I guarantee it.
Yeah. Dude, I think a lot of these accounts are run by the studio. I do. I think a lot of those accounts, like there was the Save Daredevil campaign. And their website was so well made. I mean, like professionally well made. It had a budget behind it. And I was like, man, like they must have had some pretty good financing behind this. And they're like, oh, no. It was all grassroots. It was all grassroots. And then they were actually New York Comic Con and they were like, oh, we're over here. #we saved Daredevil. And I'm like, I'm not going to fault the Save Daredevil crowd for like, taking a W on this and doing a lap. But like, I also kind of want to acknowledge the fact that it's like, they never got the traction that Snyder did. The Snyder fandom did. They never got that traction. They tried to hold a Save Daredevil con at the same time as a virtual Comic-Con, and they had like 30, 40 people watching a panel or some shit like that. It was like, it never went off. But at the same time, Charlie Cox has even said that back in 2018, when it was done, even Kevin Feige told him that he was coming back in 2018. So it's like it was already saved, it was already saved, but the fans, they want to take that win, and they're very kind about it. They're not like letting it get to their head. This is the problem with this shit though, is like, if anyone has a scoop or fucking speculation and it potentially comes true, they let it go to their head because it's part of their ideology. I think that's what I'm trying to say here, is that dichotomy between the two.
No, I get you.
I know Anthony Beltre does ask, what's your thoughts on Superman and Supergirl working together in the background of Blue Beetle? I did hear.
Oh, yeah.
I saw that pop up today.
Yeah, apparently Blue Beetle's going to reference Superman and Supergirl.
Which means that Blue Beetle is coming after June.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah. We kind of already figured that.
Yeah, yeah. That makes sense, right? Because it's going theatrical. Is that going to be the September movie?
No, dude. It's Magic Mike. Like
I thought DC. Okay, I wasn't really paying a close attention.
I don't know.
To that shit last week.
I don't know either, to be honest. Like,
I thought that there was a fucking a movie, like a DC film scheduled for September 2023. Like that's what I saw that floating around, and then I saw people taking credit for that. You know who I'm talking about?
I don't know. Weird shit's going on.
I don't fucking know. Like I read the DC Leaks subreddit every day because I'm sub to it, so it pops up and shit. And I look through there, but man, I can't even keep tabs on a lot of the crap that's going on. So I just don't even really give a shit, which is why it's like, but again, to spending the last hour and a half talking about this whole scenario, I'll be honest with you guys. Like I've been critical. You guys know I've been critical, but if I think the movie looks good, I'll say it. And I think they've been doing some really good work recently. I think the nod to the faceless cameo Superman is a good idea. Having references, not direct references, but like subtle in the background references to the other characters is definitely something that is good, because it's non-verbal communication, and people will see it and they'll get excited for it because they know, because it registers with their brain, and they're not being necessarily told, they're being shown, and that's what they want. So I think that they're doing a good job with this, but Warner still has a problem with marketing. And as RJ pointed out earlier, that the fact that they keep focusing on the same 4 or 5 lines of dialogue from the same 4 or 5 scenes out of a $250 million, what is it? 2 hour and 4 minute movie or something.
Something like that. It's like
something like that. Yeah. It's like, there's more to this movie than just that, which then makes me wonder, like, how much of this has like cameo appearances, or is it just the Harcourt, Waller, potentially Green Lantern at the end of the movie? So there's that. I don't know. Now, Fourth Hero brings up an interesting point. Didn't Subway save the Chuck show? It did help. Yeah. Subway came in and co-financed, which did help save that quite a bit. Yeah. And I did love the Chuck show, by the way. Chuck show was great.
Yeah.
Is Jericho the second biggest fan movement? Jericho. Yeah, that was a big one. That was 2006, 2007. No, that was 2007. Did you ever hear about that one? Did I ever tell you about that?
Yeah, it wasn't like the campaign to see like that TV show. That was canceled.
So they sent bags of nuts to CBS for months, and I do think that was, again, heavily financed. They got Skywrite, or they got like plane banners or airport, whatever you want to call it, flyby banners, ads in Variety and shit, like full page ads that cost like $6,000 or some crap like that. They had money coming in, and I do think it was potentially like financed by some people behind the scenes. Because I think these things are. I think if you can get a fan base engaged and push them through, like, look, I've said this and I stand by this. I think that the Snyder fandom has a lot of financial backing from the guy who runs Vero, because that guy is a fucking Lebanese billionaire.
It's not impossible.
I mean, dude, getting like you see some of these GoFundMe's pop up, but it's like there's sometimes where some things have just been paid for, and you're like, well, where the fuck did this money come from? And that was where like the Prime 76 or whatever was just like, oh, I know. He's like, I know the entire history. And I asked him that direct question. He's like, well, I don't know that. I'm like, all right, well, then you don't know the direct history, do you? Because I can't fucking find it. Not to say that it didn't happen, but it's like either it's been destroyed or not archived or whatever. But yeah, I do think that in these cases, people will start to kind of invest financially into it, because what happens when that happens? They can reap the benefits. It's a minimal investment to engage a fan base. If you can trigger them in the right way, they will work for you as long as you keep giving them what they want. And then in the case of Zach just kept teasing and teasing and teasing on Vero. And then more and more people went to Vero. Sure, they only really predominantly follow Zach and other people tangentially associated with Zach. But what better marketing plan than to spend a couple $1,000s on a billboard or an advertisement in Times Square, rather than taking out full internet ads, right? Internet ad campaign costing hundreds of thousands of dollars to try to promote Vero, when you can get all the free press you want by just using this Hollywood director that you're friends with. That, by the way, that guy spent an untold amount of money in a charitable auction to win a walk-on role in BVS. And for the, I think it was for the BVS world premiere, or for the premiere in France, he brought out his private collection, which is like some super rare comics. And like, we're talking like, it's like one of the biggest collections in the world. And he put this out as its own exhibit or exhibition to promote the release of BVS in France. So there's fucking money behind, dude. There's money behind Zach. There's money behind Zach. And if you start looking at who benefits, I think it kind of opens up a pretty interesting angle. And then
I get that. Yeah.
Yeah. Commander here says, meanwhile, 40K fans make their own films. That's so true. That is so true. And then, let's see. JP says, I believe that Zach is definitely involved, Zach is involved in it. Yep. Tails here says, that's all we need now, a billionaire Snyder cultist. He's not a Snyder cultist. He's Zach's friend. He's Zach's friend. And, but he has a business to run. And that was his whole thing, was running that. Rational here says, I want to see Matt's meltdown if Daredevil Born Again is heavily watered down. I'll tell you this, dude. If Daredevil Born Again if it's just if it's the same idea as She-Hulk, I'm in. I'm in. I was worried. All of my fears were quelled. And I actually really want to see Jen Walters and Matt Murdock hook up again. I think they had excellent chemistry.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind. Like, I honestly wouldn't mind She-Hulk popping up in the show.
Yeah, that would be okay with me. It'd be a little bit different. So let's see here. Anthony says, thoughts on people getting mad at Marvel for She-Hulk runtime of 35 minutes in the final episode? I mean, they also said the season finale, right? They said a season finale.
I know, but still, it's like 29 minutes to wrap all that up. I don't know.
Well, it's going to end on a cliffhanger.
You think so?
Yes, absolutely. Because, Oscar Isaac also admitted at New York City Comic Con that Moon Knight will be back. And there's been rumors circulating around about Moon Knight season 2. Given the ending of Moon Knight and the introduction of that third personality, that could make a fair amount of sense. So I'm excited to see what happens with that.
Yeah, should be interesting for sure.
Should be interesting. Reed, I'm not going to do call-ins tonight. In fact, I'm actually going to wrap it up here in a minute. So I got to take the kids to school in the morning. So there's that. Wait, is Mad Max still live or what?
No way.
Well, Jay here is adding him, so I don't know if he's still. He's
probably in the chat.
Oh no, I don't see him in the chat.
No, he must have. Oh yeah, he is in the chat. He says that's BS, Matt. Yeah, he commented.
I don't see him.
Scroll
there
up.
he is.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. There we go. Max, you want what? You want a link? You want to come on? You want to come on? You want to fight me?
He needs to go to bed.
You want to come on? You want to come on? I know it's almost 3 a.m. his time.
He is calling me up though.
I did not say. Okay, dude. It doesn't matter if Save Daredevil, if the people behind Save Daredevil were not toxic, well organized, and were kind. I complimented them for that, didn't I, RJ? I did.
So, yeah.
I did. They did a great job. What I'm saying, though, is that Charlie Cox has admitted that Feige told him in the fall of 2018, when the show was canceled by Netflix, that he would be returning as Matt Murdock. He has known about it for years. So am I a dick for pointing out the fact that, like, that's a reality? It doesn't take away from what they attempted to do. But at the end, it still was like, cool. They let them have their win. They earned it. They did the work to raise awareness, but it's also like, it was already going to happen. So it's just like, okay, cool. But I do think that requires some acknowledgement that Kevin Feige knew what the fans wanted and wanted to keep D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox around, and I'm hoping the other ones, in order to make this thing a reality. You know? So again, you can't call me BS on facts, Max. You know, I'm just saying.
No, it's calling BS, bro. It's over. It's over, bro. You've been canceled.
Yeah, I've been canceled. Yeah, there we go. Why won't the Lebanese billionaire fund Zack Snyder's Justice League 2? All right, so here's the thing with that rationale. It's the same reason why Warner Brothers does not want to get into any kind of extra financial situation with partners. They need money. So if they're gonna fund Zack Snyder's Justice League 2, they're gonna want to make the money off of that thing. But at the same time, they should probably, and this is just, again, my take on that, would be what they should do is actually work with a partner to finance Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3 to finish it out. Yeah, they won't earn as much money in the short term, but in the long term, think about if those movies are good and they're well received, then that popularity would then move over to other characters that are going to star in films not co-financed by this guy. That's going to work out well for them. That's an idea. Because remember, they went to like Rat Pack Films, Brett Ratner's company, to co-finance. Legendary co-financed. A lot of these companies, $7 Productions guaranteed co-finances. But they're also not in a place with their IPs 100% that they're going to want to, you know, like, maybe I'm wrong. I'm getting tired, but it's like, I don't know. Yeah, well, fourth here, you're kind of right. Just lease the characters out.
Maybe they should.
You know, here's the thing, if Black Adam bombs, do you think they'll lease the characters out?
No, it's gonna reboot everything and prepare to sell. I think they're gonna sell to Universal a lot faster.
Ahsoka $2 says Snyderverse never get restored.
Well, I mean, that's your opinion.
That's just like your opinion, man.
Yeah.
So you know, I want the story to continue, but there are certain fans I do not want to get the W. Do you know what I mean? Like there are some really toxic people that are just really terrible,
No,
and I don't want them to win.
I understand.
But I also understand that is a byproduct of the situation, which is one of the reasons why, like, you know, after tonight, like, you know, we might talk more about Black Adam marketing, but this has been an entire near 2 hours just dedicated to a couple pieces of Black Adam marketing. And that effectively serves as a massive, you know, advertising piece for the movie. But I do want people to look at my channel and and that I can evolve my opinion over time, and that I will try to be as fair as I possibly can, but I'm still going to be critical. I hope the movie's fucking good. I'm legit excited to see it. I just hope it's good. That's all I can ask. I didn't think Jungle Cruise was that good, and that was a team up with The Rock and the same director.
Oh, you can do so for the best at this point.
Yeah. I'm going to sit there with my tub of large popcorn, with my feet up in the recliner, and then hopefully be entertained. But I'm going to pee first because I don't want to be watching all that piss yellow filter and then feel like I have to go to the bathroom. Joseph here says every DC movie is always, if this movie fails, DC is dead.
That's the position they're in, though, man. I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah, it's kind of. Let's see. Fourth here says Netflix during the Daredevil era would have convinced me, but their current storytellers have me saying keep DC away from Netflix. I mean, the thing with Netflix though is it's just they spread themselves too thin. If you want my honest opinion, Netflix can do a lot of stuff, a lot of good things, but I think when it comes to television shows, there's actually a post here I wanted to share because I think it's great. But real quick, Moisture here says for 5, thank you, buddy. He says selling character rights would be very profitable. It worked for Marvel in the 90s. It did, and now Marvel is very much trying to get all of that shit back.
Mm-hmm. They knew it was a mistake.
Yeah, they very much were like, shit. Like, well, because they realized the profitability. Well, I mean, like, look, who do you think would be more profitable for Marvel to get back, X-Men or Spider-Man?
Fuck. I want to say Spider-Man. I think.
Yeah. Because for one, the popularity of the character is one that has never really shied away, and they can do a lot with it. The X-Men is great, but we've also got 20 years of X-Men movies, you know? And we've had 20 years of Spider-Man movies, but there's been far fewer of them. But at the same time, though, I think people are now just kind of like, after Dark Phoenix, man, you give the X-Men a couple years to kind of cool off and then come back in.
They need it.
But they are giving but then by bringing back Patrick Stewart as Professor X and Doctor Strange and Logan back for the Deadpool 3, I mean, they are giving fans a little bit of that injection, a little bit of that adrenaline, right? The dopamine. But they're doing it in a way that fans actually really fucking want. So that is really fascinating to me. But I do think, again, Feige will understand how to help move the story to a place where it needs to be, especially in the case of fucking Wolverine, because he was an associate producer on the first X-Men movie and has been very good friends with Hugh Jackman since then. You know, he produced the other movies as well. Very good friends with Hugh Jackman. He does not want to see this fuck up, but I think he's also equally excited. And I think he had a big part in making it happen that we may not hear about. But I got nothing but love for Kevin Feige, man. Even after some of the things have not been great on the Disney Plus side of things, I got a lot of love for him. But speaking of Netflix, I came across this tweet where this guy here, Ben Fowler, says the pressure to watch a 10-episode season of a show immediately because you want it to do well and get renewed. And if you take too long or pace yourself, Netflix will drop it to the deep end of the fucking ocean to rot in the briny dark. I mean, he's not wrong. It's the thing with Netflix, and this is what I've complained about multiple occasions, is that by pushing out these 10-episode seasons and canceling things that people don't binge through in one sitting, I don't see how that's sustainable, RJ.
I don't either. I don't know. They're in a very tough place. I mean, I think streaming, like we mentioned this before, I think it's reached its like maximum cap, and now it's just about trying to sustain what you have. But for somebody like Netflix, I don't know how it's going to work out for them. I really don't.
I don't know either. They seem to really be completely adamantly against everything in regards, like everyone else is like, we'll drop 3 episodes, then go week to week, and that seems to be a good format. Netflix is like, nah, fuck that. We're still going to drop everything at once. At least with Stranger Things, they gave us 7 episodes in the last 2. That was a start. They are doing part 1 and then part 2 down the road, but you don't even need to do one bulk here, one bulk there. It's like, just do 3 episodes at once and then go week to week. You know, you can, it's like that's a format people like, you know, like people had the first couple episodes of the Rings of Power. It gave them a nice introduction to the characters. It kept them talking. You know, Game of Thrones has just 1 episode per week. However, that's actually been okay because that already had a built-in fan base. Andor dropped 3 episodes. A lot of people love that. Andor still being heavily talked about. She-Hulk had the first 2 episodes, right? Or was it just 1?
No, it was just 1.
It was just 1. But it was a good episode. So, like they try with that shit, and some things work, some things don't. But it's like, I think people realize that the Amazon model of 3 episodes and then the week to week is good, because I remember when The Boys season 2 did that for the first time, man, fucking people were pissed. People were, I mean, I don't know if you remember that at all.
Oh yeah. Didn't like people leave like the negative review of bombs, like 1 star, 1 star, 1 star.
Yeah, because like it was like, oh, I want to watch it all at once, and it's like, but
Because
now
they made them switch.
yeah, but then and then now, guess what? Like no one cares.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course. So that's
No one fucking cares. Command unit here says more cyberpunk though. I mean, to answer your question there, I did see this here asking, have you watched the Cyberpunk Edge Runners yet? If not, who has you hostage? I need to. Speaking of Netflix shows, I want to. I need to. That's all I got to say to that one. I do want to watch it though. RJ, have you watched it yet? Have you watched Edge Runners?
No, I really want to though. I've heard nothing but amazing things.
And that's the thing. When I that came out to like no fucking fanfare.
Well, there was hype, but I mean, like, dude, it blew up. It blew up.
Well, I will say this.
It literally made the game popular again.
That's true. It did. It did really help out with that one. And then, of course, as that's blowing up in this popularity, we find out that they are working on more Cyberpunk games. They are working on one DLC for it, but that's actually in the final stages of finishing up. I don't know if you know that or not.
No.
That the DLC for Cyberpunk's in the final stages of finishing up. And then I think they're just going to cease development on that one. I think a big problem with Cyberpunk 2077 was that they were developing it for both platforms. Or for multiple platforms. That hurt it quite a bit.
The biggest issue with it.
But then they've also got multiple Witcher games that's going to be coming. With the popularity of that show fucking elevates the game popularity massively. So yeah, there's a lot there that CD Projekt Red could do in order to bolster themselves up. And so I do need to see Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Let's see here. Maybe I can give an episode a watch tonight before I go to bed. And and I do think that like more of these games need that kind of tie-in that actually is well made, well produced, and can push these properties to new heights. Because I think people are like, it's like if they were to do a Mass Effect show, right? If they were to do or a Mass Effect movie, I would argue probably a show would be better. It would cost a lot of money, but and that came out and it was good, it would completely revitalize the franchise.
Well, Mass Effect needs all the help it can get after Andromeda.
Well, let's be fair. It wasn't just Andromeda. The Mass Effect franchise now for 10 and a half years has been in a bit of a bad place.
Yeah, but I mean, like, Andromeda killed it.
No, Andromeda didn't help, but no one had high expectations for Andromeda.
I did. I was hopeful.
Yeah, well, how old were you in 2012? You were what, 13? I
still played it. I still played Mass Effect 3. I love those games.
Yeah. But do you know how badly the internet reacted to the ending of that game?
I didn't care.
Bad.
I knew.
Bad.
I was aware of it. I did not care. I still played it and loved it.
So bad. But again, to people who were playing back then, who had been playing since 2007, as I had, that had been one that did not go over very well. So, it is just that though. I mean, with any luck, we'll get to a place where we'll start getting this kind of stuff. Edge Runners is like crack, says Command Unit. So, let's see here. JP says, Edge Runners animation is beautiful, but it has the anime cringe stuff. Netflix need to do more Arcane. Yeah, well, to be fair, like Arcane had a really solid release schedule, just 3 episodes at a time, week to week, and people seem to respond to that just fine.
And it was perfect.
So it's like you can do that and have it work here. Brogy here says, I was super pissed at The Boys season 2 release. Yeah, but let me ask you this, Brogy, did you get over it? I think that's a valid question. Anthony here asks, how about a live action Batman Beyond movie? Don't. I don't want to think about that. I don't want to get my hopes up. I would love to see a live action Batman Beyond movie. Yeah. Wouldn't you? You want to see, I want to see Terry McGinnis. I want to see like the neon sci-fi dystopian version of Gotham, right? Like I love Batman Beyond. I just can't believe that show has such a cult following the way that it does. Yeah, maybe not as big as Batman the Animated Series, for crying out loud, but it's like, you know, we had 3 great seasons and Return of the Joker, and yet Warner's has just abandoned it for 20 years.
I know. It's stupid.
I don't get it. Fuck, man. It's just I don't get it. You'll do fucking Bat Wheels.
The people in charge just aren't fans. They just don't get it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, Brogy here says absolutely Amazon's release schedule is a way to go. That's my boy. That's a good boy right there. Good man. Good man, not boy, man. You're a man. You fuck. I don't know. I'm talking you up. Let's see here. Live action Static Shock. Didn't Lucas from wasn't it Caleb McLaughlin? Is that his name? McLaughlin?
Yeah.
He's actually expressed interest in wanting to be Static Shock. I think that would be a good choice.
I agree. I think
he's young enough. He's a good actor with the right role, and that's a very popular franchise. I mean, people would fucking lose their shit at Static Shock.
Milestone in general is just a gold mine of IPs that haven't been yet.
Yeah, I know, right? Them at DC Fandom. Oh yeah, guys, we're doing great stuff over here. Fucking crickets, man.
But they are doing good stuff though. That's the
no,
sad
I'm
part.
not. No, I'm agree. I'm just saying it's like the people, the powers that be. Should like look, Black-led entertainment, Hispanic-led entertainment, Asian-led entertainment. There's a demographic there that will flock to it. And here's the thing: if it's well made, it can be made for everybody, and everyone will enjoy it. You know, one of the biggest people who buy, like, one of the big white people love Tyler Perry is what I'm trying to say. White people do love Tyler Perry.
Oh, of course.
You know, and that shit is not made for them, but they love it anyway. You know, and Tyler Perry thanks them for the island he bought himself for his 40th birthday.
Right. God, so many bad Tyler Perry movies.
Yeah, right. But as Tom Hanks once said, there's an episode he's in Saturday Night Live, and it's he's in an episode of Black Jeopardy, and he plays a Trump supporter.
What?
It's one of the funniest goddamn skits you'll ever fucking see. I would play it on here, but the stream would get banned worldwide.
Oh, I'm sure.
SNL is bad for that, but he basically is just like, he wins Black Jeopardy.
Huh.
A conservative white boy with a MAGA hat on wins Black Jeopardy. Look it up. Just go on YouTube and look up SNL Black Jeopardy. It's 6 minutes. You will actually die laughing. It's a great skit.
I'll have to go and do that.
So there we go. All right. So yeah, on that note, guys, we're going to take a look here at the command unit has to take a look here at this class spotlight veteran. It's a video game trailer.
Okay.
Minute 40. That's going to wind us out for the night. Tomorrow night is another day, another Hollywood After Dark, obviously. So let's give this a go.
Sever the head, the body dies.
Warhammer, bitches.
The war against the heretic never ends. It only changes form.
No world, no bestie, and maybe no faith is impregnable.
The agents of the enemy are everywhere. Watching, plotting, waiting.
Only thing to be done with heresy is to root it out. With fire
and steel.
Ready and kill shots!
That looks pretty cool. Except it's a PC game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Someone
I
told-
wish it's on console.
Yeah, someone told me the other day, they're like, we're talking about like Switch games or whatever, and they're like, oh, you could always like get it on. I think it was This War of Mine, whatever. I bought it, and it was like $2 for the complete edition on Switch, and I've got it on Steam, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you can play it on Steam, and I'm like, yeah, but I've got it on Steam, but I'm on my computer a lot. I like to game off my computer. And he's like, and he just goes, Steam Deck. And I'm like, fuck, I forgot about that.
I know I want a Steam Deck so bad.
I'm all
One
like,
day.
what would I? Yeah, one day. Well, but again, like that's the whole point. I keep, technology will get us there eventually in regards to like the portability of this stuff. And then, when we talk about Stadia, people are like, oh, Stadia was such a terrible idea. I'm like, in theory, it works. And Microsoft is kind of doing it. You can play a lot of the games on Game Pass from the cloud. So you don't have to download it. It just takes up bandwidth. The problem though, in America, our bandwidth sucks. Like we have terrible internet infrastructure. So the infrastructure bill that Biden got passed and signed into law, that will help really bolster our broadband capabilities, hopefully kind of pushing us to kind of compete with the rest of the world. But anyway, before we get to that,
I have to share this because something just broke. Just a couple minutes ago.
Okay, well, let me just answer this quick super chat here from Command Unit. Thank you, buddy. It says, been playing nonstop Cyberpunk 2077 since finishing Edge Runners. Not gonna lie, didn't play the game since launch and heavily enjoying it now. Oh, dude, I picked it up a few months ago on Xbox. It was like $30 or whatever, and I was like, well, more than that, but like I was at the very end of the game, going into the last mission when the fucking update dropped. That quality of life update that everyone liked. I was at the end of the game. So I'm like, great. But I'll get the DLC when it comes out. And hopefully by then I'll have an Xbox Series S, because I'm not going to, or an X, because I'm not going to get a PS5. I've already made that decision. I'm going to go for the Xbox Series X because I'm going to get a PS5 down the road when, for one, it's a smaller model. I'm sorry. That's actually a deal breaker for me. That might sound petty as fuck, but that's a deal breaker for me.
The Xbox Series X is a fridge.
It's not, no, but I have the space to put it. I don't have the space to put the PS5. I don't have the space for it. I have the space. I can put in the Xbox Series X. But then again, also Games Pass is a great thing. And there's a lot of games I didn't play on Xbox that I can now play on Xbox. And I'm just kind of drawn more to that console than I am with Sony. I love PlayStation 4. I love Sony. Where I'm at personally with it is just like I'm going back to my Xbox roots on this one, man. And I feel good to be back. I just want to get the full thing. I'll get a PS5 eventually, but it's like at that size, it's so frustratingly big that it just makes no sense. And I'm like, all right, I'll wait. And then also the proprietary memory expansion is fucking insane too. So, all right.
So this just broke from Cinema Blend. This just went live. I'm not going to say anything about it.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you who's in it, who's interviewing The Rock, but you'll know him.
Well, I think you tell me privately.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Potential
That's fine. I'm not going
to
potential Black Adam spoilers.
Potential.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
Do you plan at this moment to make the movie that is teased in the end credits?
Absolutely. That is the whole point of this, man. Thank you for asking that. And I have been saying for some time, there's a new era in the DC universe that's about to begin. And what I meant by that was introducing a brand new character. It's not a sequel, not an existing IP. It was Black Adam. 2 years ago, the world had no idea who he was. We did, but not, the rest of the mass out there. Introducing the JSA, introducing that new era of the DC universe. But also, what I really meant by this is a new era in the DC universe is listening to the fans. Now, and doing our best to give the fans what they want. And maybe sometimes down the road, and I went through this in pro wrestling, is you can't always give them what you want, but you'll always know that we're listening. And in this case, with what you and I are talking about, I have been listening, and I've been wanting to address fans for years, because I've been waiting for someone to step up and address the fans and say, hey, we hear you. So finally, after many months turned into many years, we ended up with what we ended up at. And the whole goal and intention now is to this new era, new time. Now let's build out. There's no one on this planet that can stop me.
There you go. There you go.
That was he said the same thing.
I don't know.
What the thing with Jake was better. The greatest force in the universe has been sidelined for too many years.
Oh no. The direct question was, you're making the movie that you're teased at the mid credits, right? He said yes, and they also mentioned that this was planned out for months, and the months turned into years. So I mean, come on.
Plushy here says he said new character. He's referring to Black Adam.
Yeah,
on that one.
Black Adam.
Yeah. But I mean, Spherical Commander says a new era, not a changing of the hierarchy of power. That's a criticism. Music Man here says you're looking too far into this.
Nah.
I mean, I'm just saying, man. Green Lantern.
Really, man?
Right? We've been planning for years. That happened in 2011. When was he cast? When did he get the role of Black Adam? Was it like 2009? When
it was officially confirmed in like 2014, 2015.
Yeah, but he'd been gunning for it for 13 years.
I'm telling you, man.
So that would have been right around the time that Warner Brothers was getting ready to do. Oh, right. They were filming the Green Lantern movie, getting ready to film the Green Lantern movie. He would have come in around that same time, would have been part of that conversation.
It's Henry, bro. It's Henry.
No, I'm just telling you. Then over the years, he develops a good friendship with Ryan Reynolds, right?
Henry.
The two of them have a bromance, have a camaraderie. One that's liked about as much as about The Rock and Kevin Hart.
Black Adam versus Superman.
Right? But it's like, but again, it's like the universe out there in the universe. Is Hal Jordan out there in the universe too?
That's gonna fly down and punch.
Where is Green Lantern Corps located? Where what planet are they located on?
Oa?
Right? Isn't that out in the universe?
The
universe is a big place, RJ. It's a big place.
Superman's
a lot of powers. Superman has been a humanoid since literally he was an infant. So it's a misnomer to say that. It's what he's saying. He's saying Green Lantern. I'm telling you.
The hierarchy changed, man. The Rock saved DC. I'm serious. The Rock has saved DC. He saved it.
You don't know that.
He saved it, dude. He came in the last minute to catch the game-winning touchdown. He saved DC.
What is the game-winning touchdown? Dude, they've been playing the minor leagues for years. What are you talking about?
It don't matter. They graduated, man. They went from college to the pros, bro.
Whatever. Rational here for $2 says, with the gaming PC, I can play PlayStation and Xbox exclusives. I mean, sure, but I don't want to be on my PC all the time. That's my whole point. So, you left the super chat? Yeah, I just got it.
Yeah,
I just got it. Will you stop kissing the Rock's ass?
Only when Matt stops hating on him.
I'm not hating. I am using logic.
Needs to be a positive force for the Rock around here.
I am using logic and reasoning to ask the question of whether or not we will see Green Lantern in this movie, because it's entirely why not both? Oh, right. Oh, here's a question. Oh my God. What if? Hold on, everybody. Hold on. What if it's Wayne T. Carr?
That'd be awesome. I want John Stewart.
What if that's the end of the movie?
That'd be awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Let's listen to the fans.
Yeah, listen. Yeah. I would have asked him. I would have done a follow up and been like, "So, which fans did you listen to?" Because that would tell you everything you need to know right there. So,
Dude, I'm telling you, Superman. If Superman's in this movie, they're gonna sell like twice as many tickets.
No,
Dude,
no.
I literally no joke. I talked to my friend today. He's like, if Superman's in this movie, I'm buying tickets to go see it 3 more times. People are gonna go see this movie multiple times just to support. Guarantee it.
I think if he's in the movie, people will definitely be excited for it. I think that's going to be a fun thing. Rationaler says when the Black Adam makes $1 billion,
that's not happening. But if it does, that'd be great. Just so Matt can talk about it. It's not gonna happen, but I kind of wanted to just to see what the hell would happen.
Yeah, well, Taylor here says that the end of Deadpool 2 tells me Ryan Reynolds isn't coming back. Yeah, no, I don't really think he's coming back. I'm just saying it's like he's really good friends with The Rock. He's already been in the DCEU. He met his wife.
Like a random citizen.
Yeah, he could. He also met his wife while working on Green Lantern, of which they are now going to have their 4th child. So he's made fun of the green suit, but he even has said that for Deadpool 2, I think, or even Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2, when he makes fun of the Green Lantern stuff, he doesn't want it to be mean-spirited. So he and I think there is even like some conversation or something. Didn't Zach say something about like the idea of bringing Ryan back as Hal Jordan?
I thought it's been talked about. Yeah,
it's been talked. I can't tell at this point. I don't know if it's been actually alluded to or if it's just been something thrown out there on Twitter that you see floating around. That is how much information's been floating around on this shit. It's crazy. Tales from the Hood here says Green Lantern is a masterpiece. Are you referring to the animated film Green Lantern First Flight? Because I would agree with you on that.
That is a great movie.
That's a very good movie. So, but yeah, I don't think a new character, an untested character, you're not going to get $1 billion.
Unless it's like the greatest thing ever.
That would be a stretch, but yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like so incredible. Like everyone, like it's like the Avatar. Just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, Aquaman did do $1 billion, but Aquaman wasn't entirely untested.
Well, kinda. Well, Aquaman was more impressive because remember he was introduced in a flop. His first movie was a flop. Justice League.
Yeah, China really liked Aquaman. I mean, dude, the effects on Aquaman were amazing.
Aquaman was carried by overseas, not domestic.
It really was, but I fully admit, I think Aquaman is such a good movie. I think the movie is a good movie and it looked visually stunning and it was fun. So it felt like you're watching an adventure. They even have fucking a cover of Toto's Africa.
Oh yeah, I remember that. It was like really bad too.
It was Pitbull's Africa. That's what it was. Pitbull had covered Africa.
Pitbull cover of Africa.
Like that was pretty bad. That was a studio man did. I think that was like, well, we're signed. We have
Pitbull song. Yeah, we signed Pitbull.
Yeah.
We gotta get a song in.
Yeah, we're in Africa. We have Pitbull signed to our label. What can we get him to do? What if we get Pitbull to cover Toto? No, I don't know. That's a bad idea.
Somebody was drunk.
Here's the funny thing though: is the scene right before that when they're on the plane. The pilot in the plane.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who that was?
No.
That was.
You broke up on one robot.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, who was it?
Okay, it was Lee Wannell. Lee was the one who wrote Saw, and James Wan had directed it. He also wrote and directed Upgrade, which I hear nothing but. And he did The Invisible Man a couple years ago.
That's cool.
And so yeah, he's been like really heavily involved in horror for many, many, many years. And so he was the fucking dude flying the plane. I always like it when like people who work in Hollywood that like aren't well known make appearances.
Mm.
You know, like was it episode chapter 5, Mandalorian season 1, the X-Wing fighters, and it's Dave Filoni, Deborah Chow, and Ricky Famuyiwa.
Yeah, what the fuck, dude?
What?
They just dropped another Black Panther thing just now.
Another Black Panther trailer? It's like a
2-minute trailer featurette.
All right, play it. We'll close it out on that because it is midnight now. But yeah, we'll play it and close it out on that one.
Okay, because this literally, I'm shocked they're dropping this at 2 a.m.
I'm not. They've done this before for some reason.
It's so weird.
audiences have embraced Wakanda and Black Panther and Chadwick. He knew exactly what this story, what these images meant to the world.
We all suffered an incredible loss when we lost Chadwick.
Chad was very much our artistic partner. I would spend time with him, just he and I, talking about like, where we would want to see the story go, how much he admired the other characters and the actors that portrayed them.
In the telling of this story, we were all able to honor him together.
It was really moving to come back to Wakanda and for us to be able to do it with a sense of celebration.
There's so much that's happening in this movie. It's amazing. So
I'm
many
shocked
new
to let
characters
Letitia
to
Wright
explore.
talk.
Just seeing the world of Wakanda again.
Yeah.
How we're going to this whole new world underwater.
My enemies call me Namor. Introducing Namor, who's a character we were really excited to portray in the film, arguably one of the oldest comic book characters that there is.
The opportunity to play a character like this, it's a dream.
He's the king of an underwater civilization called Talukan.
He is regarded as a living god.
I need to know if Wakanda is an ally or an enemy.
The level of care creating this story, it is astounding. And so it just really felt like for all of us to give it everything we have and more.
I'm just so grateful and blessed to be a part of this. The actors were filled with emotion and passion.
I am queen of the most powerful nation, and my entire family is gone.
Altogether, we ended up using those feelings to create something really special.
The action and adventure with the emotional stakes so high. Things are happening up, down, and everywhere.
I'm so excited about the world being able to tap into Wakanda again. How each character takes on new challenges. And I'm excited about us honoring Chad. Yeah, he would want us to just inspire the world.
God, that looks fucking good, man.
That's messed up, Rational. She's trying.
Yeah,
okay?
well, okay. So I've seen people make the claim about this as well. Look, it's you can't get away from it. You have to just kind of lean into it. You know, had Ledger played the Joker and then died after the Joker came out, and we thought he was going to be in the sequel, and that would be a hole, because people really loved his portrayal as the Joker. So, I mean, you know, I disagree with that notion.
Again, I recommend everyone go read the Entertainment Weekly article. Ryan Coogler almost stopped making movies and walked away from Hollywood after Chadwick died. The only reason he's making this movie is because he had an epiphany that he could use this movie as almost like therapy for himself, to like use this movie to honor like Chadwick's legacy, and celebrate him. Like, you read it, like the actors could barely get through the movie without crying. Like this movie was hard to make for them. So like this movie is like, I know some people are like, oh, like it's all these are the marketing, because the movie's about Chadwick Boseman and his life and his like T'Challa's legacy. The whole movie is about T'Challa. Like that's the core of the story. How do you deal with grief and loss and move forward? It's like both a metaphor for the actors and for this. So
yeah, I think that it's kind of like, you know, if like Robert Downey Jr. or Chris Evans or Chris Hemsworth had died in between films, there would be a hole there that the fans would very much feel. And I mean, look at Paul Walker when he died.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know about you, but I remember I was sitting at the drive-in. We had just started the movie. I was snacking on a little bit of popcorn. One of our regulars walked by and he just goes, "Oh, did you hear Paul Walker died?" And I was like, "What?" You know, and then like it just sat with me for like months, dude. Like, I don't know why. It just sat with me for months. I just was like so bummed that like Paul Walker died.
Yeah, well, that's the great thing about this film. It's like it's carrying on T'Challa's legacy while also honoring Chadwick at the same time. Like, and like they've talked about this. Like,
well,
they've had conversations with Chadwick about what the movie needed to be going forward, and what the franchise was going to be going forward. They're carrying on with what the legacy of Wakanda is. Because remember, Black Panther wasn't just about T'Challa. It was a big part of it, but it was about establishing Wakanda.
Yeah,
so
a lot of it was Wakanda.
You continue to uplift those characters and continue their stories as well.
Like here's the thing is, like I think the movie, you know, playing up that angle is fine. I think if they would have recast T'Challa, it would have been fine. I think they could have done both and it would have been fine. I'm okay with that. Like, I'm okay with all of it, but I feel like
I trust Ryan Coogler.
But the people behind, the people behind the scenes, like, this is their art, and their art was impacted. And any way you look at it, they're going to go into it and they're going to feel a certain way. And that certain way, however you like it, is going to have to be, you know, it's going to be something that's going to be there on the audience's mind.
Let's think. Like I know what William's saying, but like, art is shaped by the human experience. You don't make art without some part of your human soul being a part of it. And this movie is telling a story. It looks to be telling a grand story. It looks to be an epic film. It's going to satisfy audiences, great action sequences and great character work and writing. And it's also going to celebrate a character's legacy as well as a man's legacy. And I'm okay with that. Again, I trust Ryan Coogler.
I think it's going to
bad movie.
It's going to expand as well.
Yeah.
You know, so we are going to get, you know, but there's a catharsis that needs to be acknowledged and needs to be felt. And I think that's going to be okay. But anyway, guys, it is after midnight. I've been saying this now forever. I do got to get going. Everyone, thank you all so much for hanging out. We're at 46 likes. Let's get to 50. There's 103 of you guys in here. Be sure to join the Discord. Link is in the video description. As always, guys, thank you so much for supporting the channel. You can follow below in the links, or if you want to support Patreon or become a channel member, thank you all for that as well. We'll be back tomorrow night, another episode, Hollywood After Dark. Who knows what Hollywood has in store for us, but it's gonna be a party. Oh, yeah. All right, everybody. Have a good night. Go do, and I don't know, play video games. Kane, maybe. Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Edge yourself on Edge Runners. That might be kind of bad depending on how you look at the lolly situation on that show. I don't know. Do what you got to do. See you guys.